Oh man, is the mics hot? Are we live, ladies and gentlemen? Let us know if you can hear us. Oh, I think I may be a little hot. Hold on, guys. Let me adjust some things real quick. Sorry if I blew out anybody's eardrums there. I forgot I gotta consistently change my mic volume depending on what I'm doing. Let me go ahead and bring this back down to about 40. We should be good now. I should be coming in nice and smooth like butter. Can you hear me now, ladies and gentlemen? Let me know if I'm blowing out your eardrums. There probably was a vast difference between how I sound now and how I sounded previously. So let me know, Pong. Am I a lot lower for you now? Or do I
you're about the same as you were before, but you weren't you weren't extreme on my end.
Oh,
I'll tell you if you're extreme. You weren't extreme on my end.
This is so all over the place, bro. Because I get into a party chat with my brother, and I leave it at the settings that I usually leave it at for podcasting, because I usually turn it down on the actual PC itself to about 40% because of how I have things tuned, and just because I know I have a dynamic voice that goes up and down a lot. So it's like I try to adjust for those things, but I get into a party with my brother and he's like, "Oh, why you sound so quiet?" I'm like, I don't know. And then I go into the settings and I bump it up to 100. And he was like, "Oh, I can hear you perfectly fine now." And then I get into a fucking Discord with Pong and he's like, "Fuck, man, why you so goddamn loud?" Oh shit. I love it. Oh, we got some new faces rolling in here. At least some faces maybe we haven't seen in some time. And Battling Tone is already sliding in and he says, "Steel, put some pants on for fuck's sakes. We have children watching." You know, I'm sorry, man. The black tee and draws is the option when you guys can't see the bottom layer. It's all good. It is all good. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm on my first cup of juice. And I think it's time to really get it locked in real quick. Drake Williams is asking, before we get real deep into it, he says, "What game is that on screen?" Well, Drake Williams, it's a little game called Wuthering Waves. See, let me tell you about Wuthering. No, I'm not going to do that. But yeah, it's Wuthering Waves. It's technically considered a gacha game. If you ask anybody else in the community, they're going to tell you it's not a real game. If you ask the people in the gacha community, they're going to tell you, who gives a fuck about all the games that we talk about if you ain't playing these gacha games? So it's really interesting to, again, continuously be part of that, jumping into it and whatnot. But it's time to get into it. And Delroy, I can talk a little bit about how bad the gacha is, since it is what I've been mainly playing over the last couple of weeks or so. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know where you're at right now, you're tuning into Living Split Screen. Not only that, but it's another exciting moment. Not only is it Gamers Christmas, ladies and gentlemen, but E3 time. Do you know what that means? It's the end of the season. Season 3 is coming to its end. Season 4 is about to begin for Living Split Screen. Everybody is on the motherfucking hype train. And we're about to get buck wild nasty. And and Yobi, I would check my DMs, but right now, Twitter has forsaken me for forgetting my my password, although I entered the same password that it told me that I forgot, and it told me that I already used that password. So I'm waiting for them to allow my access back to my motherfucking account. But we'll see what ends up happening. It should be available to me here soon. By the way, another exciting announcement. Not only are you right here on Living Split Screen, a non-console centric platform, but you're also here on a platform where legendary Yobi is going to be handing out some hypercharge codes for the chat. We have some gifts to open, as you can tell from Pong's box that he has there, that we're all doing right here live, raw, and uncut. Yobi said, check your DMs, Pong, and I'm going to continue to intro the show because, like I said, this is Living Split Screen, a non-console centric platform that talks about everything going on within the gaming industry. I'm one of your hosts, Steel Rain. That's I, Steel Rain I. That's He is a 7 everywhere. We are the home of that RTS view. That's where we pull ourselves out of the world, look at the darker crevices of that map, pull our resources together so we can not only build up our own foundation, but also the foundation to potentially reach the 3 billion gamers that Phil Spencer and Sarah Bond has been talking about. Not only that, but this is also the home of that ECP. That's that educated consumer perspective, because we don't work in the industry, man. We never portrayed ourselves like we do. We're just two passionate gamers who have a lot of professional knowledge, got a lot of career history that we can kind of put to test here. Some things that we've learned through our corporation lives, real life, you know how things go with that. And we just sit down and we bring them to the table right here. So ECP is always important. Hopefully, chat, y'all are on board with that. But that's enough of that, because I gotta introduce the uncanny gentleman himself. The one and only X-Men that is not Cyclops. And he's not Iceman either, guys. I keep trying to tell you guys, he is. He is the brother from another. He is the one and only Pong. Oh, what's going on, brother, man? How you feeling?
Ho, ho, ho. That's right. Gamers Christmas is upon us. That's right, Splitters. Welcome aboard the Splitter Hype Train. That's right. We are getting this Saturday morning rock and roll. As you could tell, Steel's energy is a little extra today. That's right. All of our energy is a little extra today. Thank God Steel is not naked at this point. I would not have doubted it had I come online in Discord and seen a naked Steel at this time of the morning, because he is fired up. I am fired up. That's right. Gamers Christmas showcase season, E3, not E3, is here. And we got it started last night with, of course, Summer Games Fest, which we're going to talk about it. We're going to definitely talk about it. Some cool stuff there. But we are rolling into the weekend. We got shows galore. Steel and I are going to be popping up in different locations. We've got the, obviously, Future Game Show today. We have the Xbox Showcase tomorrow, the big one. It's going to be massive. We got a little bit more Gears smoke for everybody that just rolled out this morning. So we're going to talk about that as well. I'll put that in the DMs for Steel as well. I did already, actually. And Yobi, I did get your DM, sir. So I've got the codes. I got the codes. So we are golden there. If you can't get in Steel, I got the hypercharge codes. They are going to be US region locked, just so you guys are all aware. When we do give these away, they are US region locked. But a couple codes for the hypercharge game, which I am going to be purchasing soon. I'm going to be getting that game because it looks fun as hell, and I just want to play it, and everybody that's been playing is saying it is really good. So Steel, no better time of the year, man. This is when it is, man. News dropping every which way. We got some potential leakage throughout the week. Nothing on Xbox's side, which is crazy. I mean, we've already had some leaks there, but nothing outrageous. I was expecting to see some fake showcase lists going around, as always. That's what someone made you scratch your head a little bit.
I mentioned that a little bit earlier on the show with Mav, man. It definitely seems to be really weird, because again, I know Jez was trying to temper expectations, and I know that look, I know some people don't take Jez seriously. Look, he's even himself come out and said, hey, I'd never said that I was a journal, whatever the case might be, and never went to school, any of that stuff. People have been taking that and really crucifying him for it. Again, say what you want, do what you will. I personally feel as though he's been doing more journalism than most other people that we have seen in our community. So even if he doesn't consider himself that, I take everything at face value for what it is, man. I'm not going to overly crucify the dude. I don't overly crucify any of the people that consider them journalists or whatever, but I am going to speak on certain ways that they may come across, right? I'm not going to like they like to do and not validate people's opinions. I will validate their opinion, but I just will let it be known that I may not agree or I may see things differently. And it just so happens that over the years that we've been doing this, Paul, we've been on the money, or at least around the ballpark a lot of the times. So at least lets us know we're not too far off. So
yeah, hey, listen. There ain't no temper in my expectations. You all know this. Okay. I'm a kid on Christmas Day. This is the way it rolls. I had somebody hit me up on one of my posts yesterday underneath Mav, say, but Pong, you're always excited for everything. I make no apologies about it, man. I get excited for everything, right? So I do, and this is the time of the year, and I don't care what Jez says. When we got Tom Oren out here saying expect at least 15 first-party games, and we already knew that. We've been through our lists. We've been through our lists multiple times. We're going to go through a list today, potentially. It's real. The Xbox avalanche is beginning. They are one of the world's, if not the world's biggest publisher of content in the video games industry now. We're going to see tons of stuff. And again, it's all coming to Game Pass.
Yes.
Day one. Game Pass, day one. I know I'm going to be playing it. So that's all I care about. So especially the Xbox stuff, but even the non-Xbox show, I get excited about stuff. We don't know where Phantom Zero's going, but watching that Phantom Zero trailer last night, got hyped, man. Don't care. It's freaking that time of the year, man. It's that time of the year. So Steel, it's been a great week leading up to this weekend. Lots of shows to do, lots of talking to do. So we're going to get into it. But gaming wise, I've been boring as hell lately. Again, not boring for me, but obviously coming on here, Diablo 4 got me back again. I just hit level 90.
Oh, damn. That sounds pretty quick.
93 last night. Yeah. Bro, it's legit. So many people are playing now, Steel, when you roll into Helltide and they've got one of the new blood rituals in there where it's just wave after wave, mob after mob, right? I rolled in. I've been just rolling in by myself with randos and getting in these massive groups. Again, I said it on Thursday night. I had one earlier this week. We ran the ritual like 11 to 13 times in a row. It was unbelievable. It was just nonstop. It was 5 of us, 6 of us, had a couple level 100s in there, rolling nonstop, man, just collecting loot. It was insane how much was on my screen and how much I had left behind. It was stupid. We're just having a great time with Diablo 4. Again, doing Blight Necro. That's my build right now. Okay. And she is phenomenal. Just having a great time. Got my army with me at all times and just having a blast in Diablo. It is back. And now a ton of people are playing it. So it's just nuts how many people are just always in Helltide with you. So leveling up has been so easy and so much fun. I've been doing that. And then of course, Ghost of Tsushima, still rocking for Ghost, man. Oh yeah. I've been rocking Ghost almost on a nightly basis. This week, 4 days this week, I played Ghost at least some. Fine. Yeah. I love that game. Again, it is the open world samurai / ninja, depending on how you're going to play Jin, game. And again, I'm playing him more as a ninja, so I'm getting it down now. It's such a blast, man. It's such a beautiful game. The combat feels great. Again, is it a masterpiece? Now, I'm not going to say it's a masterpiece, but I'm going to say it's damn good. And all these years of waiting finally paid off, and I'm enjoying the hell out of that game. So, man, that's what I've been doing, man. But we got games. We got new games coming up again. We got new games that are going to be rolling out. Man.
It's looking good. A lot.
Some filled in, some spots filled in yesterday. Steel with Summer Game Fest, man. We got stuff. We're going to talk about that. But yeah, Steel. Let's hear about your Wuthering Waves addiction, sir.
Oh man, you want me to weather your waves?
How much? Okay, let's start here, Steel.
Okay.
How much money have you dropped into Wuthering Waves?
I've only got the Battle Pass, so that's it.
Okay, which was how much?
The Battle Pass it's either $9.99 or $14.99 or one of the two. Okay,
fair enough. And that's all you've done.
And that's literally all I've spent. Okay, and I
got to set that up, Steel, because people always wonder with gacha games. Like
absolutely.
You got to be a whale. You got to be spending all this money. How many hours you got in?
Fuck, I don't know how to even track the hours, but I
Okay.
know I got easily 100 hours in it for sure.
Okay. Fair enough.
Especially from last week to this week, I easily probably got 100 hours in it.
Okay.
And I didn't get the battle pass until after I hit about Union level 25, which that was probably towards the end of me beating the game. So that was probably at my 80, maybe 100 hours of being in. So if I think about it like that, I probably have a little bit more than 100 hours because I've only played probably about 20 hours additionally or so this week. But anyway.
I think it's just important, Steele, because again, what we're talking. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No,
again,
you're good. It's important. It is important.
This is a curious conversation, right? I was going to jump into Wuthering Waves. I just decided not to, just because I've got so much stuff. But this is a conversation that's going to start happening more and more as mobile games start to really blur the lines, like we've seen with like Genshin Impact, now Wuthering Waves, right? Honkai Rise, what is it? Railstar. Oh God, why I can't.
Honkai Star Rail.
Yeah, Star Rail. As these games start to blur the lines, we're going to start seeing these games hit more and more and cross over between communities. Because, like you said, you've now kind of entered a little bit into the Wuthering Waves gotcha community, and you're finding some interesting conversations going on in there. Some similarities to what happens in what I guess we could say mainstream console gaming or whatever you want to say.
Something about it's about a specific style of game. Right, although, like, you can consider it a JRPG, you can consider them JRPGs, action adventure games, you know, but that community considers them gotcha games. That's what they are.
Right. But they're blurring the lines now between what we used to think was very distinct between a mobile type gotcha game and a console game. It's really starting to blur the lines and people are going to start talking about them more. More people are going to check them out. But I think it's important to start getting rid of some of the stigmas that the old, and there's still plenty out there that do it, right? But the old thought process of, that mobile game is going to be monetized to hell. You got to be a whale to enjoy the game. Once you get to a certain point, you're going to have to spend money. You got over 100 hours in this game. You've only bought the battle pass itself. You got one of the best characters that just came out in one of your free polls, right?
For what I wanted.
Exactly. So that is important to start talking about because we're going to see more games like this coming down the road. I can guarantee, because the success of these games is massive.
Somewhere up there. There is an issue that I have with the gotcha game style. Because I mean, again, I'm more of an end game player. So when you get to end game, there's some limiting factors there. But just to answer people straight up, because I see several people asking about it, is Wuthering Waves better than Genshin? I'm going to say that it's not even close. It's not even remotely close that it's better than Genshin. It's me playing Wuthering Waves now makes me almost regret playing Genshin. It makes me feel like I played a kiddie game before I played a real man's game, as I guess the best way that I can put it. Regardless of anybody that feels anything, I know there's fans of Genshin and the Hoyo verse, and Hoyo's doing some things. Again, they got Zenless Zone Zero. I saw somebody also ask about that in chat. Zenless Zone Zero, ZZZ, is another game from Hoyo that I actually got into the closed beta for. I do have gameplay of that on Living SplitScreen as well for people that want to check that out. And to be quite frank, it's even way better than Zenless Zone Zero. Mainly for me because it's more of an open world style game. So that adventure aspect of it, traversing, traveling, the way that the combat makes you feel, the ecosystem. See, the thing that I like about what they did with the open world here, it's like, a lot of times in open worlds where they place enemies in the world for you it almost comes to a point like it feels like fodder, right? Now, you get a little bit of that towards the end, but even then, I'm still enticed to fight the enemies because not only is when you beat enemies and they drop their essence, essentially their soul, I'll call it to make it easier to understand. It helps level up your data bank, kind of like or a Pokédex, however you want to consider that. Not only does it do that, but you get different versions of them. And they got your typical style, like we do in chat. See all the purple loot boxes in chat. Shout out to y'all got those epic drops. But they have the same kind of thing to where these monsters have different ranks. So you'll have your greens, blues, purples, and yellows, and of course, yellow is the highest you can get. In endgame, yellow is all that you're going to want, right? So it becomes this kind of push and pull, because as you're getting these souls from these different creatures, they also don't exactly drop the exact same way. So let's just say, for an example, you have attack and health on a piece of this echo or this soul that you pick up. The next one that you pick up of the same type could have crit rate and damage and attack on it, right? So that you see those kind of variances in what's possible, at least as far as its system goes. So it makes you want to run around the world, makes you want to, like, it just makes you think about your grinding a little bit differently than you would in like a traditional game. That's my biggest thing about Wuthering Waves. Wuthering Waves also, combat wise, as for those who are watching, as you can see on screen, fits everything that I've been looking for as far as this style of game, right? I will still recommend to people, if there was something that I would say, hey, one over the other, as far as gacha games versus traditional games, where you can unlock everything through the game and everything else like that, I would still recommend people to play Grand Blue Fantasy Relink. One, because they came from a gacha game, so the mechanics in Grand Blue Fantasy Relink are similar, but you can unlock all the characters through just playing the game, right? So there is the uniqueness of that, and the combat feels really good in there as well. I don't think it's as good as it is in Wuthering Waves, mainly because of the switching out between your teammates and everything, the additional damage bonuses that you can get from your team and whatnot. I saw some people talk about, oh, the elemental system doesn't work as it should. Burning doesn't leave an effect over time, and lightning doesn't stun the enemies, and ice doesn't freeze them. And I get there is some of that. It's not like direct as you would expect in a lot of these other games. Again, if you compare it directly to Genshin, where it's focused on elemental kind of things, it makes you want to blow up everything. Oh, combine this so it can cause an explosion. Combine this so it can blow up. It's not like that, but it is much more focused on the actual skill of the game, skill of the player and your interaction with the game. So overall, it's been a really fantastic time. It's probably one of my favorite games that I've played this year thus far, hands down. And to Paul's point, I was pretty much playing the game free to play. And I know a lot of people, this isn't something that they're kind of used to. You hear about gacha games, you hear about games that you got to roll for characters in. And I can openly admit, maybe I've just been extremely lucky. The battle pass doesn't give you so much that, man, I got 3 times as much shit as I would have got before. No, I would say you get about double of what you would have gotten. And maybe you get an extra pull here or there, or whichever the case, but it's not so over the top that you feel out of place or feel like you have to grab it. But I've gotten every character that I've wanted since before the game released. I got Yinlin when on the day of her release. I got her within 30 pulls, and again, there is luck to be considered with that. And if I wouldn't have got her, I would have been a little frustrated. Would I have spent some money on the game? Probably not, because I personally don't see the point in that. I don't like spending money in a system where it's a maybe. That makes no fucking sense to me. And it's probably the worst thing that is probably the worst thing about the gacha game style that I don't like. I want to be able to earn my characters through gameplay. Now, you will get like additional pulls and stuff over time, but it could be you go 3 weeks, the character's only going to be on the banner for a certain amount of time. And that's the other thing about gacha games. Once that character's not on that banner anymore, especially if they're a main character or like the special character, then you're not going to be able to get them again. That is a turnoff to me. And it can be a turnoff to other people. As an example, again, I easily have over 100 hours in the game. So I'm getting to a point where now Because there's people that will tell you when you look up guides and stuff like that, and tell you, oh, best team, how to get these echoes, how to do grind and all this stuff. What they don't tell you is to get the echoes that you're looking for is going to cost additional funds, right? And the additional funds that they give you in game, I use to pull characters, right? Mm-hmm. So I can no longer top up my energy to, let's say, like, you know, in Division, Destiny, these other games where you can just go do that mission again to get a different role of a certain piece of equipment. It's the same. It's similar in here, except when you go get a different role, you have to re-level it up through resources that you can only get through doing these certain type of missions that require energy to do. And once you're out of that energy, you can no longer get the resources that you need to level up those echoes, right? So you will end up putting yourself in a point where when you start seeing other people recommend certain things, like, oh man, you want to roll, you want to get these certain roles, you want certain substats. Like when you start really micromanaging it, it's trying to approach it like you would a Destiny, like you would a Division, like you would any other looter, honestly, right? Borderlands, whatever you want to throw in that. When you start trying to min-max things, you run into a wall. But from everything that I've seen, that's just how that is the gacha style. That's how they get you to spend some additional ducats. Now, what you could do, and this is their intention, because Wuthering Waves is a single player game. Point blank, period. And the devs have even said, hey, once you get to wherever you can get, you can play a different game. We're not expecting for you to be here forever. Like there's people who've put 300 hours into the game and talking about there's no content. Bro, the game just been out for 2 weeks. Like, and you're trying to talk to a casual audience, or you're trying to talk to an audience who is never going to reach that. Even for me, and I consider myself a very passionate gamer. If a normal person who has much less time than I do is not going to be anywhere close to where I am in the game. So there's at least 100 hours through story, through additional gameplay, through unlocking the map, because that's the other things too. You have other things that you can do. You don't have to get caught up in their resource management system. And the other thing too, if you don't engage with the resource management system, they did update it to where it can stack energy now. So if you're off for a few days, you'll come back with energy that has been stacked up from you being offline because you're an active player, right? And as long as you're signing in, whatever the case, you're going to continue building up that energy. So you don't have to feel forced like, oh man, I got to be part of this grind. Like right now, I would consider myself probably in the top 15% of people who are in the end game of this game, right? And got everything that they needed, which is actually kind of solid and perfect, especially with the games that are coming out over the next month or so. I got Elden Ring right around the corner, ladies and gentlemen. The DLC is dropping, Shadow of the Erdtree. I am so glad I'm at where I'm at with Wuthering Waves, because it's going to allow me to freely engage with the game however I want at my leisure and still have a fucking shit ton of fun with it. The co-op is fun in that game, way better than what Genshin has. The resource management in there is good. For this to be Kuro's second game coming off of Punishing Grey Raven, which was a more arena style, over-the-top combat, but for this to be their second game, they're offering great competition in the space. It's a solid action-adventure game, just overall JRPG. I'd even consider it, and I'm really loving what Wuthering Waves has done as far as the gacha space goes, because it at least shows people that things can be done a little bit differently. This does make me want a game, though, whether it's an MMO or whatever the case, that allows me to get the additional grind in if that's what I want to do. A little bit more customization is something else that I would like to see. But that's me, right? And maybe they don't make all their money if they turn it into a game that's like that. All right. Because I like to live in these games. When I find a game that I like, I want to be able to play that game for some time. Right. That's why I do typically love MMOs. That's why I typically do love looters. That's why I love shooters. because I get to experience why I love multiplayer when they get tacked on, like Space Marine 2, for an example. I never played the multiplayer in the first game, and if I would have known about it at the time, it would have been much more likely for me to have played that game. I'm not going to miss it the second time around. And it looks next level. So after I beat the story, co-op, Howard solo, however we end up doing it, I'm going to be jumping into the multiplayer, getting hours and hours and hours in, depending if it's fun or not, and just kind of going from there. So yeah, man, Wuthering Waves has been the main thing on my list. Haven't really played anything else. Haven't dropped into Call of Duty. Haven't got the Gundam pack yet. I will be getting that when I do end up signing back into Call of Duty. But man, Wuthering Waves is taking over my game time, man, and I'm loving every bit of it. I definitely, I would, anybody that, look, tell your kids, tell your mama, whoever's playing Genshin, to get the fuck off that baby ass game and come play a real man's game.
Whoa.
That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say.
Whoa.
Come play Waifu Simulator. No, I'm playing. So I don't necessarily believe in that either. Again, it's also gacha games seemingly do the thing that I like. You can make these characters attractive without them being fully naked, you know? So
nothing wrong with naked. You like to get naked.
Hey,
Let's go.
Like to get naked. I do like to get naked.
Let's go. Yeah, I saw Decado say it's not an addiction, it's a way of life. Well,
it does become a way of life. I'm again, maybe you'll have worse luck than me and you won't get the characters that you're looking for. Again, I think that's the biggest thing that's keeping me 100% in right now. Is I got the characters that I wanted and I didn't have to spend any additional money for it, man.
Yeah.
I mean, again, I'm seeing people spend. I just saw somebody last night spend $100 just to get this character because they couldn't do it within their 30 pool that they got from just playing the game. So
you know what's funny when you talk about character pools and all that kind of stuff. And shout out to the 80+ people watching us right now. Ooh. Energy is up. You know, showcase season is here. Appreciate y'all for dropping in here, especially so people that might not hit us up live normally during this time. I know some people are out in LA, enjoying, getting ready for Xbox Showcase. So, you know, some shows aren't going on right now. We appreciate y'all jumping in here live and hanging out with us. Again, this is how we start our shows. If you are new here or don't normally catch us, this is how we start our shows. We talk games. We talk games that we've been playing. Usually either one of us or both of us have a big kind of opening talk about some game that we are currently playing. Again, this is what we do, man. We're gamers here. But the thing about gacha games, and you talk about it, Steel, and I find it funny, kind of the correlation to, you know, card collecting, sports card collecting, magic collecting. Yes, you're getting getting a physical item, obviously, in real life most of the time nowadays.
It's literally that.
But it is that. So when I hear you talk about how you can be frustrating, you might have been frustrated had you not got out of your free pulls, you know, the new character that you wanted and that kind of stuff. I go right back to my days of card collecting, right? And that's the addiction.
Not only that though, Pong.
Yeah.
Also, when you think about Ultimate Team or FIFA, when you're buying packs, or
I put money in NBA 2K21, was it Steel, where we were on chat and I was buying packs, man?
Yeah,
I dropped like I remember $40-80 on VC coins, which I haven't done in a while, but I did for a while there because I was really into Ultimate Team. And I've always said that they got to fix that part of it because you should be able to carry over some of the money that you spent into the new game as well. That's the difference. But it is funny listening to you talk about it because that's exactly how I felt as a kid trying to pull rookie cards out of packs, buying boxes, right? I even had a buddy who was very well off, his family was, and his mom was into card collecting.
Oh, wow.
They would buy cases of cards. And I'd go over his house and open up packs, bro.
That gets fucking expensive,
bro. It wasn't so bad back in the day because we hadn't kind of reached a tipping point in sports card collecting. It's coming back again, but we hadn't reached that tipping point. It was still bad. It was still expensive as hell, obviously, back in the day. But man, there was nothing better than sitting down. We used to sit down and rip packs all night long. We used to sit down in front of the TV and just rip packs and pull cards. Man, it was nothing better. But yeah, that's why I get into these types of games and why I understand where people do become whales.
That's why I don't get overly critical about. Like it's one. I'll make it known that I don't get it because I've never traditionally done that. Like I've never gotten the Ultimate Team. Once you get to a certain point, that's the main way that Genshin turned me off. It was a character that I wanted. I tried to roll for her from all the resources that I got for playing Genshin, and I still didn't get her. I spent an additional $10 to get some additional resources to roll, and I still didn't get her. I was like, nope, I'm not playing this game. I'm good. That was the one character that I wanted. I couldn't get her in time. And I was like, yeah, no, I'm not playing this goddamn game. And it was, I mean, and I was already on the downturn because of how I was feeling about the combat. And even in comparison, it's nowhere fucking close. 100%.
Yep. No, I get it. I did want to mention too, Steel. I didn't mention it in when I talked about what I played. I did want to mention, I mentioned it yesterday as well. Anybody interested? Steam has got a ton of demos going on from the Guerrilla Collective right now. But one of those are all indie games, and the Guerrilla Collective was 90 plus, or just almost 90 games total that they showed. 3 hours. I still have not finished that showcase. Shout out to Noble, who did a great thread. I shouted out, retweeted it yesterday. He did a great job giving links to all the games. But a lot of those games,
his information is in the description below, ladies and gentlemen, if y'all want to check them out.
Yeah. Noble's amazing. Go follow that dude, man. He does great work along with along with everybody else that we always mention on here. But he did a nice job breaking down every single game with links. Steam's got a lot of demos going on. One of them that was announced this week that wasn't part of the Guerrilla Collective was Test Drive Solar Crown. I know a lot of people here, especially the older crowd, are going to have a lot of love for Test Drive from back in the day. A lot of us were Test Drive fans. I was certainly a Test Drive fan. Solar Crown, again, for me, I've been quite honest, when they've shown it off, didn't do much for me. Like, I've been like, oh man, I just don't know. Mav's curious about it. They dropped a demo in Steam. So if you've got Steam, if you've got your PC, you can go download it right now and play it. They allow you up to, I think, to level 15. So they're going to give you a good idea of what this game is. But I did pop into that, Steel, and I wanted to just quickly give some quick impressions, like I did yesterday for the people wondering about Test Drive. So again, I'm going into it with not high expectations at all, right? From what I've seen, it really wasn't interesting. So I loaded up the demo, had some login issues, as always, right? This is demo, right? This is early, but servers not great. So I had some login issues, got through those, fine, great. Got into the game. This game is fully online. Everybody should be aware of that, right? This is an offline racing game at all. So I get in. First impressions, graphically, I got everything turned up ultra. I got all the highest, reflections on, water effects, all that kind of stuff. Okay. So again, I'm playing at that level. Good looking game. Okay. I'm not going to say mind blowing or anything. Good looking game. Car models, pretty good. I will give them bonus points. When you buy a car, you not only can change the paint color, but you can change the interior color. Okay. I love that, man. I love that, bro. So I picked up the 380Z as one of my first cars. They only had 3 cars available out the gate. They give you some funds to buy a car. You can go test drive the cars before you buy them, which is always a great thing as well.
Yeah, fire.
All of them were rear wheel drive cars, which is a little odd to start everybody just with rear wheel. Normally you give a front wheel, all wheel, and a rear wheel option, but all of them, all 3 were just rear wheel.
Could you feel the Z? Could you feel it in that game?
You feel it. So then that was just about to get into. So car models good, character models okay, last generation NPCs, but again, it's a racing game. Whatever. Okay, it's fine. Really clean UI. I will give them credit there. It feels like you're dropping into a fancy world. Like, and that's kind of the way they're going with this, right? It's the streets versus, I don't remember. It's such a generic, again, the concept of the campaign, quote unquote, or the story behind it. It's the streets versus, I'll just call them the Richie. That okay, so it's just but you kind of start off in the rich neighborhood, and in the car showroom that they have, it feels like you're walking into a freaking museum, right? So that's dope. So I picked up the Z. Get to driving. Now driving is obviously the most important part of the game because that's what it is. I did not have high expectations. I got to say they exceeded my expectations. Not that this is like the best driving experience I've ever have, but for a game that's coming back that we haven't seen in quite a while, from a franchise we haven't seen quite a while, with new developers, got to say they've done a really good job with the driving. It feels good, and it's set up like Horizon, so you get points. You get points for drifting while you're just driving around the city, or passing by cars really close. You get bonus points, drifting, drafting, you get points for those. And then they, at a certain point, allow you to bank those points or risk them. If you get in an accident, you obviously lose them, like Horizon, right? So they've got a system set up similar to that. Was having a fun time with that. They got GPS in this game. They've got all your stuff that you come to expect. They got a little AI GPS with you that talks to you, that tells you places to go and all that kind of stuff. So that's all good. City, a lot of cut and paste. This is where I started going, ooh, it looks good. I was driving around fully at nighttime. It looks good with all the lights on. City feels a little bit barren, which could just because it's in nighttime. But the buildings, a lot of cut and paste buildings, feel like you're traveling the same street over and over and over again a lot of time. Taxis are everywhere, and they are the same freaking model everywhere. Yes, the same color scheme, the same generic as all get out. I was like, okay, all right. But driving overall felt really good. Then I went, so I was driving around, fooling around with the car, getting used to the car, all that good stuff. From interior models to exterior models, because you can go, they've got all the camera angles for driving, all really good. Felt good. Speed felt good, right? Which is another thing we talk about, sense of speed. You definitely felt like you were driving faster, right? It definitely felt like you were going.
That's good.
Went to go to a race. So I had, again, this is a demo, but they open up, they kind of intro to you. But they open up one part of the city for you to start out with. And they've got 2 races because you got to work your way up through, open up more, obviously. And it's all online again, folks, all online. So again, no bots, just online. So I went to the first race point, normal, like you'd think, right? You pull up and it says press A to enter the race, whatever else. Login failure. Kick me back out. Server error. Kick me back out. Did that for about 5 minutes. Okay. Couldn't get into a race. It would start and then would kick me out instantaneously. Okay. I went to the next point. I'm like, let's try the different point. So I went to the other race point. Same thing. I spent 15 minutes plus trying to get into a race and never once got into a race. So
that's not good.
That's not. Again, it's all online, so your servers are the most important thing. It is a demo, so I did not delete it. I'm going to go back and try it again while the demo's still open. I think the demo's open through this week, I want to say, or something like that.
Okay.
So I'm going to go back and try it again, and see if I have a better experience logging in. But just want to give everybody a little heads up on Test Drive Solar Crown because I know there's going to be some interested people out there. Just my first initial thoughts and my experience with logging in. Again, not going to, it's a demo, it's early, it's a brand new game. I'm not gonna bash them right now, but this is not a great first impression for your demo when you're putting it out on Steam. Okay. You got it. 15 minutes of trying, I should be able to get couple races in, right? So that was a little bit of a turnoff, but I will I'll give you guys an update next week after I try it again some more and see if they get this fixed, if they get the issues resolved. But so my initial impressions of Test Drive Solar Crown. I just wanted to give everybody real quick.
It's interesting. And I see Yobi saying some things in the chat as well. He's saying you can control your windshield wipers, hazard lights, flicker your blinkers and stuff
you
like
can
that.
do that. Yes.
That is
headlights,
also stuff
all that kind of stuff.
All that stuff is extremely attractive.
It's a radial menu that you got to bring up to do, but yes, you can do that.
Okay. Well, I guess it's not too terrible. Yeah, man. I mean, I don't know how I feel about that. It kind of seems like kind of up and down. It kind of seems like, hey, if you have access to Horizon, maybe this game isn't, you maybe not try to, maybe you don't jump into this one, or maybe you do if you can get into it. It is a turnoff that you can't. That you weren't able to load it into any matches. Maybe it is a demo. Maybe it's just a lot of people playing, slamming the servers. That could be part of the case. Maybe they weren't expecting people. But again, when you have a game that's online only, as from what you're saying, for races go, you got to make sure that the connection is solid so people can really truly feel how it is, right? So yeah, I mean, it sounds interesting. Hopefully it turns out to be at least a decent game. But like people were mentioning in the chat, y'all talking about games? Where else do they do this at? Nick says, can this game dethrone Forza?
No, Nix. We ain't doing that. Okay, Nix. I love you, Nixie. We ain't doing that. No. But yes, this is the old test drive IP that they're trying to bring back, right? So, and this is from Nacon, I believe, is the publisher. So, yeah, I just want to give my impressions of that early on. But yeah, we do talk games here to start out the show. We do that.
Yeah, you usually end up spending almost an hour, if not a little bit more than that, just chopping it up about games that we are playing. Again, Wuthering Waves is definitely dope to talk to more and more people about Wuthering Waves, how I feel about it. Hey, again, it's very seldom that I end up feeling like the casual in the room, and I definitely do in many ways, especially with how people are talking about it. But again, I take my ideology of how I play games into everything that I play and everything that I do in real life as well. And just, I know what I like, I know what I'm getting into, I know how I'm going to play, and then we'll go from there. And I'll just be honest with people on what I experience. So, Drew Blisky says, once I heard online only, my interest went out the window.
Yep. And I get that.
That's understandable. I definitely get that.
I get that.
Because again, that's one of the reasons why I stopped playing Forza Horizon. Because again, you beat the game. What I get down to is the online, and I don't like the fact that in online that you can skip certain parts of the track in certain races. I know that they've limited that down, and you can do certain playlists where that's not the case. Which I do. I need to re-download Horizon so I can jump back into there. Because I need my racer fix. Well, I mean, I do have Motorsport, but I think I was having more fun with Horizon overall than I am with Motorsport. But yeah, man, it's the feelings that you get it into those races. You want to have it be as even as possible if you can. And I'm still looking for a racing game that allows things to be on somewhat of a level playing field. So it's not about you just having a better car. Per se, it's more so about who's the better driver, because you're still running that in the Forza, which again, of course, it makes sense in real life. Certain cars are just going to perform better than other cars, but it becomes this. That's why I like Forza Motorsports, how they do their everybody drives a similar type of car, but even that, I wish they limited it down more to where people can't tune their car. No, you're given a car, we tuned it for you, you just need to drive it. I think if Motorsport would have done that, it would have made it so much more accessible and easy for people to jump into. Because that's at least what I'm looking for, right? Yeah. So there's that. Arthur One says, you want a game with the better driver? Play rally games, bro. And hey, I'm not gonna lie to you, Arthur. I did recently download one of the rally games. It wasn't feeling the greatest on controller though. I was getting used to it. But it was giving me some of the older feelings that I had playing like Colin McRae, because I hadn't really played any rally games since Colin McRae. And that was like my life. I fucking loved Colin McRae back in the day. So yeah, man. Nixie says there's Solar Crown Fuel Arcadia. Is that what TD is?
Yeah, it is. It is definitely more on the arcade side. Yes, absolutely. 1000%. So it's not like Motorsport. It's more Horizon than it is Motorsport, right? Okay. And it's even different from that. I saw somebody say it's a little bit floaty. It can be a little bit floaty. It's more in line with, I would say, like some of the Need for Speeds, right? And again, it's very tough because everybody who enjoys racing games of any kind will feel something different when they're driving the cars and have a different opinion about how that driving experience is for them. It literally has been that way for a very long time. I think the only one or a couple that people agree on are like Midnight Club and maybe Need for Speed, like Underground. Like those are like the only ones that people really agree upon, like as some of the best, arcadey experience, right? The majority, but everybody else, you can find all different types of opinions. So it's very tough describing it. But yes, I would definitely say it's much more arcadey than a sim. Like it's definitely more in line with arcade for sure, especially like the drifting and stuff. City driving, like it's city racing. It should be. It shouldn't be straight up sim, right? You're not on a track, like in Motorsport. So, but yeah, I would describe it that way. I was going to say too, Steel, real quick too, while we're talking games here. Yeah. Trail Out, which is a game that just launched on a console. And it's an old school, not serious, arcade car racing game where you do, derbies, crash up derbies. You do crazy racing. People have seen it. It's got big explosions. You can blow up other people's cars and that kind of stuff while you're racing against them. I picked up that super cheap for Steam as well. Fooled around with that. If you're just looking for a not serious fun racing game, you can do a lot worse than Trail Out. Trail Out is cool. You got to start and build up your cars. They got crazy characters. The writing is absolutely ridiculously terrible. So terrible that sometimes it makes you laugh, right? One of those. Like, it's so bad you got to smile sometimes at it. But the characters are weird and wacky and wild and stuff. But Trail Out's kind of cool. I did play that. And then I did want to mention again, we're not probably going to talk about it because there's just too much to talk about. But Guerrilla Collective, the 3-hour show that I talked about, the indie showcase that I talked about, if you're into indies, if you're into smaller titles, at least go get the list of trailers from Noble and go watch the trailers. There's a lot. I added like 15 games to my wish list out of that almost 90 games. And like I said, if you are on PC, Steam has a lot of demos for a lot of those games. I just went through and counted, Steel. I went back through and downloaded demos of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different games out of my 15 that I added to my wish list. I added demos to Steam. So I'll be talking about some of these games as I play through these demos while these demos are live. So there's a lot to be found in the Guerrilla Collective. And they're going to be games that some of them are going to come to console. Some are going to come to console right away. Some are just going to be PC only. That's why I still watch all. Well, now I have a PC, so of course I'm watching them. But I even watched them back in the day because I knew some of these games were going to come. But if you're looking for a list of those indie games, I definitely go check out Guerrilla Collective because there's a lot of good stuff in there. A lot of really cool stuff. So yeah, go check that out.
Absolutely, yeah. I see the couple talking about trying to put people on that Need for Speed Underground 2 fan remake that they're trying to do in Unreal. It's been looking really good, really delicious. Something that I think they need to bring back. And speaking of which, Need for Speed also just did a update. The most recent Need for Speed, it's not called Heat. It's I played it too. It's slipping my mind. But anyway, the most recent Need for Speed actually just changed some of their they updated the game and changed their driving handling to make drifting feel, apparently from what people are saying, 10 times better than it did before. So people are really falling in love again with Need for Speed. They're saying it's back to You're
talking about Unbound, right?
Unbound, there we go, yes. Need for Speed Unbound, apparently an update just went through here recently within the last week or so, where they updated the handling and everything, and people are saying it feels like Underground 2 Most Wanted kind of driving again, and that kind of made me interested. I was like, do I need to re-download it? Because they did bring cops online as well, so that's something that's something else to consider.
When all those EA games and stuff were going on massive sales out of the blue, remember there were shadow dropping sales on Xbox. I picked up Need for Speed Unbound, even though I wasn't going to. I picked up the big edition for, I think it was $6 or $7 or whatever it was, some ridiculous price. So I actually have that game, and it is really a decent Need for Speed game. Like out of the last batch of Need for Speed games, it's probably at the top of the list for me. As how it feels. So now I'm interested in going back. I didn't know that they dropped another update on that, Steel.
Yeah, they just completely changed the handling and everything. People were saying it feels exactly like what they expect for Need for Speed to feel like.
Okay. Okay, I might have to go download it again and try it again because I've wanted Need for Speed to go back to the old style for so damn long. And Unbound is close in a lot of ways. I know some people didn't get with some of the characters and kind of the story behind it. I like it. And some people didn't like the anime style kind of graphics they added to it. I liked it. I gave it a little bit of flair. So I did enjoy it. So I'm gonna have to go check that out. So
yeah, it seems like a lot of fun.
Shout out to Diablo 4 for hitting all-time peak on Steam yesterday as well.
What was the number?
34,310.
Okay. I mean, it's jumping up there. Let's see what happens if they end up slowing it down for sure. Again,
Which is crazy. But with the expansion coming out, if the expansion is as big as we are hearing, Steel, some people are saying get ready. Diablo 4 expansion is going to, when they show off the CGI with the story that we both love the hell out of.
Yeah, we do.
Yes, sir. Can't wait. Tomorrow we should be seeing it.
It's going to depend on what's going on, man, because right now, with the type of games that are coming, especially they're the first Descendant, which we're going to get into here in a little bit, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to get into our upcoming games first, and then we'll probably roll straight into to the summer game show. So, but yeah, man, a lot of interesting games to get into, a lot of fun to be had. As you can tell, we've been having a grand old time, as we typically do on a week-to-week basis when it comes to our gaming habits, and we're true to what we like, man. So you're always going to get something interesting here to talk and discuss about, and it's how we open the show, guys. So
this is how we do it. This is how we do it, man. And we got over 80 people in here. We're going to shout out the chat too. I'm going to get to you guys as we always do every single week as well. Because again, if you're new here, don't normally join us live. You probably, if you catch us later, you probably hear us talk about this. But you guys always are as much a part of the show as we are, right? And Steele and I here on Living Split Screen, that's one of the reasons why we started this show. And we said one of our main things was we're going to keep the chat involved week to week, depending on what we're talking about. Sometimes it's more, sometimes it's less, but we pull stuff out of the chat all the damn time. We try to do that on a consistent basis, and we shout out the chat every week because we love you all, and there's nothing but respect for coming here and giving us your time. That is huge. Like, that is not something that we take for granted. Your time is just as valuable as ours for being here, right? So thank you all for joining us.
Real quick, Valentone says, just a quick 70-minute intro. Hey, man, when you playing these games, you want to share that energy and that love with the community.
We do. We're gamers first.
What we do, man. That's what we do. Always.
Yep. Gamers first. We come here and talk. Some shows don't do that. Some shows just get right into the news for Steele and I.
It's about gaming.
Yeah, this is what we do, man. This is what we do, and it's all over the place. Some weeks it's different. It's crazy, but man, this is what we do. No format here. We just roll. Okay, so hey, everybody, what is going on? It's Timmy's in the house. What's going on? It's Timmy. Thank you for joining us today. Yeah, Joe Dunmore. Joe Dunmore is joining us this morning. I feel so special. Thanks, guys. Hey, Joe. We feel special for you being here. So thank you, sir. Appreciate you. Nixie, what's going on? What's going on, Nixie? Pong always looks out for the chat, like when he says, I know what you're doing, Nixie. Yes, Nixie. Especially, I got my eyes on you, Nixie, at all times, brother, because I know what you're coming in here to do. I love you, man. Thank you for being here. Def Leopard in the house. We got the one and only Decado in the house as well. Thank you, Decado, for always joining us, sir. Probably at work, talking about the First Descendant. Yeah, you and Steele are all over First Descendant. I'm going to be too. I can't wait.
I cannot fucking wait. July, beginning of July, to give me some time to get my Elden Ring on.
Bro. I can't wait. Filling up. We're filling up fast, so the calendar's filling up. But First Descendant is definitely something I'm going to be jumping into. Parasite 82 Green, what is going on? Thank you for being here. The Lydian Master, what's going on? The Moon Man, formerly known as Spooky, is in the house. What's up, Moon Man? Brother, appreciate you jumping in here, man. M. Gene, what's going on? Great to see you. M. Gene says Black Myth Wukong not on Xbox day and date. So strange. Yeah, we're going to talk about that news yesterday.
Gotta talk about it. Yeah.
Gotta talk about it. King Jellies, what's going on? Arthur 1, I see you in here. Thank you for joining us. Oates is in the house. What's up, Oates? Thank you for being here. We got the Ghost Wolf 3599. What's up, Ghost Wolf? Sith Lord, the goat of sharing out podcasts on a daily basis during the week. Sith does great posts. Thank you, Sith. Yeah, bro. Crazy, man. Supporting this community is amazing, man. We talk about the nonsense.
He's definitely Batman.
Definitely here. The legendary Yobi. That's right. And we will be as soon as the fine gentleman who supposedly created whatever's in this box joins the chat. We will be doing a live air
unboxing.
This is a birthday present from legendary Yobi. I'm not good with gifts, but Yobi would not take no for an answer, so he twisted my arm from long distance, and he sent this to me, and I've been holding this box for a couple days since it was delivered, and I'm even worse than just people giving me gifts, which again, I don't, dude, I'm almost 50 years old. Like, I'm over, like, again, is having a gift unopened. I can't stand it. Again, I'm a kid at Christmas. I was the kid that went around and found all my gifts before Christmas. As much as my mom and dad tried to hide them, I'd find them all. So we're going to do a live opening on air of the legendary Yobi's gift coming up here. So who else we got in here? We got, let me scroll up because I got all the people jumping in. We got the Ooh, we got the man with the biggest stick in town. Pause. We got the man who cleans up chats on a weekly basis across so many different shows. He is also a big-time gamer and shares his thoughts on X. That, of course, is the famous and one and only Boss Mod Lethal Papa in here. Thank you, Boss Mod, for dropping in here. Love to see you, man. Thank you for being here. Who else we got in here? We got Tubabu Kumi in the house, of course. He says, I missed the Burnout series. Yes, I'd love to see the Burnout series come back as well, man. Still plays incredibly well to this day, ages extremely well. El Elicanto is in the house. What's up, El Elicanto? I appreciate you for dropping on here. Says Need for Speed Underground had a banger soundtrack.
Yes,
that is a fact as well, bro. That is fact. Oh my God, so good, man. So good. Who else in here? Let's see. Let me scroll up. We got so many people in here today. We got Scott Gamer Dude. What's going on, Scott Gamer Dude? He said there are 2 games that caught my attention from Summer Games Fest that most would not pick, but for me, they did. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Oh, bro, I'm day one. We even got Steel interested in it.
Yeah, I'm more interested than I was before. Yeah, 100%.
Bro, I was shocked when he said it yesterday. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 this year, going to be fantastic. Can't wait to jump into that. And Killer Bean. Listen, Killer Bean is an open world, just fun ass game made by the small developer, bro. I got to give him credit. Like, am I playing it day one? Probably not. But there is a massive fan base that has been waiting for this game. Like, again, there's no joke. I saw people getting hyped for it in the actual Summer Games Fest chat and people online. So, yeah, Killer Bean is cool, man. Don't worry about it. There's going to be a lot of people playing that game. It don't matter. Know who you are as a gamer. Get out there, play what you love what you play. You know what I always say. So, Scott Gamer Dude, thanks for joining us this morning. Tim the Sorcerer is in here. What's up, Tim the Sorcerer? Always joining us. Thank you, brother. Drew Bilski. What's going on, Drew Bilski? Thank you for dropping in here on a Saturday morning and spending some time with us. Appreciate you so much. Who else we got in here? We got Live Supremacy in the house. What's up, Live? Great to see you dropping in here on an early Saturday morning. We got JB1521 in the house. What's up, JB? Who else? You guys are amazing. 5.0 Trey Gaming. What is going on? He says, I wish more gaming podcasts would actually talk about gaming. Yeah, man. Not everybody does, man. Hey, everybody wants to just jump right into news.
You know me. Some people like to mix it up and whatnot.
It's different. It's always different for everybody, and they got their own formats. It's just Steele and I are gamers at heart, and just we're passionate about the big issues, and we're passionate about just the games themselves. It'll always be this way before us. Delroy's in the house. What's up, Delroy? Thank you for dropping in here, sir. Appreciate you. Who else we got in here, man? The Sly Crow, of course, is in here. Dune Awakening will have a show in late June. Yeah, Dune Awakening is, I want to see some gameplay. I've heard some people who have tried it in the background say that it is freaking really good. So I am interested in seeing more about that game.
It's an MMO. I want to see more.
Yeah.
I'm not a Dune fan. I haven't watched Dune since way back in the day. I haven't seen none of the newer ones. So it's going to be interesting. I mean, the game has my attention. It's like the story wise and everything else. Again, it being an MMO, it's also supposed to be third person. I think it's supposed to have some shooter elements as well to it. So it looks like it's going to be really attractive, man. I can't wait to see more from it.
I can't wait. Seeky's in the house. What's up, Seeky? Always good to see you. First Descendant is free to play, Seeky. Yes, it is free to play. So you could jump on in there anytime. So there's gonna be a lot of people jumping in that game. That game looks beautiful, man. That game looks beautiful. Lydian Masters in the house. What's going on? Pong and Steel left the room during the Blumhouse segment. Yeah, I was driving during that time, but I heard Steel right away go, I'm out. Blumhouse is, again, I can do horror movies up to a certain point. I don't do extreme gore horror movies. Like Saw doesn't have any interest for me whatsoever. I just
cringy.
I don't think that's entertaining to me, but I can do horror movies. Again, I think it's because are there times where I still squint my eyes or close my eyes and go, okay, I'm waiting because I know something's coming. Yes, during movies, but I can get through them and I can watch them. I can enjoy them. But the interactivity with video games takes it to another level that I I
I
can't do it anymore, man.
I'm not doing
Can't do it anymore.
I will put the
But
controller
shout out
down.
to the horror fans. Yeah. Shout out to the horror fans, though, man, because they're eating good these days. Vlad's is in the house. What's up, Vlad's? We got the Masshole 1977. Thank you both for dropping in here. We got the Lad in the house. What's up, Lad? Great to see you as well. Lad says he or she is also playing Wuthering Waves as well. Yes, let's go, Lad. Who else we got in here? We got the Kingfish 737 says the First Descendant looks so beautiful. It does, man. It really does. It's crazy. These games.
It looks really good. Again, it gives me Lost Planet vibes. That's the biggest thing for me. I really want a Lost Planet to come back. And it does. It just feels really good. Feels good to play. It's very interactive. Yeah, I mean, it's good stuff, man.
Yeah, it is. That's man. You guys are. I think I got. XBX Lord Chaos 78 dropping in here said, hey, what's up, everyone? Hope all is having a great day, and let's get ready to get that chicken baby choo choo. I love it, XBX. Thanks for dropping in here, Lord Chaos, man. So much. Silver Lab guys in the house. What's up, Silver Lab guy? Late, but I'm up. Well, good morning to you. And I hope you had a nice restful sleep that you got to sleep into. So we haven't even gotten into our main stuff. Yeah.
I'm going to slide in here with Parasite 82 Green.
Yes.
With the 4.99 bones. They say, looking forward to getting the feeling back tomorrow that I got when Xbox revealed Epic's Cliffy B's Gears of War 1 gameplay at E3 and made my jaw drop. You know what's crazy about that? Is that I wasn't exposed to Gears that way. My dad introduced me to Gears because he wanted me to play co-op with him. And then after we beat the game is when I first saw the Mad World trailer. From beating the game and then seeing the trailer and all the feelings that I got from playing the game. Yeah, it was a wrap. There was nothing like it during the time. The multiplayer completely flipped how I felt about multiplayer on its head, especially for third-person shooters. Yeah, man, there is no better feeling than Gears. Like tomorrow, I'm telling y'all on live with the Fun Spec fam, if a Gears collection drop, even for Gears 6, I'm still going to be over the moon as long as they sell it right, and I think they will. Again, because of if you following the story. They literally have no choice but to go super dark now because the 6th game is supposed to be kind of the wrap up, right? There is no other way to go now. So it's going to be interesting to see what the Coalition does after Gears, but I do think that they're going to go back real dark, real gritty. Maybe even the Locust ends up coming back somehow. If you know, you know. They're never truly dead, quote unquote, although they kind of try to explain that they turn into the swarm or whatever. I don't think the Locusts actually are gone for real. And again, I still want to see a Locust King personally. I think that would be super dope. But nonetheless, they have a lot of avenues. In the Gears of War collection, guys, like that's what bro, I'm going to be talking about for some time if that ends up happening. So yeah, I'm extremely excited. I'm extremely excited. Sure.
Yeah, I think we all of us old Gears heads are in the same boat right now. I go back. I was, again, an adult, raising family, right? And I was all about video. Obviously, I've been about video games for 40 plus years, but I always paid attention. I saw that first trailer. I saw that E3, and my mind was absolutely blown. And my kiddo was 6 years old when Gears launched, and he knew the Mad World song because that became his favorite song because I had him watch the trailer and then we would play the song every day when I drop him off at school, kindergarten, preschool, back home again. We'd listen to it on loop and he knew that song frontwards and backwards and be belting it out from my back seat, man. Tomorrow, if my expectations, it's a wrap. But again, if it doesn't show, it doesn't show. It's not going to ruin the show for me. Even with all the smoke out there about this stuff, again, we don't have any confirmation. Again, Jess keeps repeating he hasn't been able to confirm one way or the other.
Got something in the DMs though. You sent me poem that.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that. We're going to get to that. Yes. So, but if the smoke turns out to be real, yes. And I've said this, and I'm legit. I don't know how I'm going to react if they do show off a Phoenix collection. If they do go with the absolute easiest home run of all time by redoing the Mad World trailer again. may see grown man tears on screen tomorrow, and that's legit because of what that meant to me, that game, what it meant. Again, hearing my kiddo sing in the background, still to this day, I remember him, Dad, Mad World, put on Mad World. I remember him telling me every time, like, it will be special. And because Gears, especially 1 through 3, was such a time. And again, I don't do competitive multiplayer games, but I got into Gears. Now, was I Steel? No, I was not Steel. But for me, I was into it, man. And I played so much Gears, playing through the campaigns. It's just special, man. So if they do pull that off tomorrow, it's going to be ridiculous. I get chills thinking about it, man. So, but yeah, we're hoping the same thing for sure. Verg Brizzle, I see you jumping in here. Thank you, Verg, for joining us this morning. Fahim Scott's in the house. What's going on, Fahim? Always good to see you. J-Mac, what's going on, J-Mac? Great to see you dropping in here and joining us this morning. So shout out to the LSS podcast. Salute, gentlemen. Pong Soul Steel Rain. Happy game show eve. Graybeards, Xbox World Order is fully operational. That is correct, J-Mac. You know how we do it, man. We are the Graybeards. At least some of us. Steel isn't quite there yet, but
I got a few. I got the Graybeards. I got some in there.
Yeah, I saw you throwing up the high school pick too. Show off.
Oh, you like that? Man. You like that?
No, I love people saying that. Yeah, no.
Yeah,
I knew it was you right away, but
my
God, man. Steel, seriously. Sanchez MTZ Gaming's in the house. What's up, Sanchez MTZ Gaming? Great to see you as well. East Side Vandal, what's going on? Punk Soul, did you hear PlayStation is day and date third party? Yeah, I mentioned that yesterday. Everybody else skipped over that, and I put it in the chat while I was driving when Steel and Matt were live. That wait, we're just gonna roll right over the past that we got a PlayStation IP dropping into Switch day and date. We're really just gonna roll past that. We're gonna skip over that. Of course, the goalposts moved. Of course, all the usual suspects did what they are going to want to do, make all the excuses in the world. That's why it's no big deal. It's actually a good thing. Listen, the reality is starting to show up. All of us have been saying that everybody's kind of headed in the same way outside of Nintendo. Again, they're going to do their thing. But all of us have been talking about this, that the industry is shifting, that these companies are moving in different directions. None of us said that they were going to do it as fast as Xbox. But the signs are all there that they're experimenting as well. So PlayStation, I thought it was funny to see, but it was good to see. Again, our take on this. These companies are going to do what they do to have to make money. That means more gaming for us. I don't agree. I would be toe-to-toe, battling it out, exclusives all the time. But if this is the direction we're going to move as a gamer, cool. More people get to play these games. But yeah, pretty funny to see that happen. Kind of slide on in there. I thought Keely's and on Nintendo Switch, he gave it a little extra. I was like, yo, what's going on? All right. Anyways, we'll talk about that too. Let's see. I think I got everybody in the chat. So we're going to get into this day in gaming. And again,
let's do it.
Those of us, those in the chat that may not know, we also talk about the next week of games. We pulled this from Game Informer, which is not perfect. So we always ask the chat if there is a glaring omission in their list about the games that are coming out next week. Please let us know. We will definitely try to pick that up in the chat and announce it. But Game Informers, again, they do the best out of all of them. It's not perfect, but it's the best. So we're going to roll with this, and we are already still obviously coming into the week of June the 10th, right?
Yep.
Am I correct? Yeah, June. Yeah, June the 10th. Jesus. So we are going to start out here still with Rocket Knight Adventures Re-Sparked. That's right. Rocket Knight Adventures Re-Sparked is coming to PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, Switch, and PC on June the 11th. So everybody who's into Rocket Knight, I think it's been an IP that's been around for a while. Yeah, limited run games. Yep, exactly. This is one of their IP that they're putting out, physical. So obviously, let's see what time we got. Oh shit, I screwed that up, didn't I?
You're about 20 seconds behind. So it's an hour 17:25.
I'll just do an hour 17 when I started that announcement. So that's upcoming week of games. Professional podcasting here, people. Upcoming week. There we go. All right, we're good. That's all I needed to do there. And so we've got. Oh, this is one that I've been waiting on just because The actual official controller support will come to PC, but I've had this game in the catalog for quite a while, and I'm going to hop into it. V Rising is getting the PlayStation 5 launch this week on June 11th. V Rising has been a pretty big success on PC, and they're starting to bring it to console. They're starting with PlayStation 5. I would hope that an Xbox version is going to come down the road. Can't wait to hop into this game. Again, I've been waiting for native controller support. I know some people in the chat have already told me they've played with controller. Again, I have my PC now for the first time in my life, my gaming PC that actually plays games, but I'm not all about still fiddling around with certain things. And if things aren't necessarily like native, like it just makes it easier. So with this drop, with the PlayStation 5 drop, and I know there was just an update on V Rising on Steam the other night, they are launching full controller support as well, obviously, because it's coming to PlayStation. So I am going to be hopping into V Rising as well. I'll have my takes on that game. I love vampire games. We don't get enough of them. I'm always about trying out new vampire games. So we're going to do that. V Rising, June 11th. And then we got Taskmaster VR coming to Quest 3, Quest 2, and PC, June the 13th. This is from Scallywag Arcade, published by Draw and Code. This is a simulation game. Go check out Taskmaster VR, you VR fans out there. What else we got here? Monster Hunter Stories. That's right. This is coming. Remake, right? This is the remake. So, it's releasing on more. So it came out in 2017 on the 3DS. For God's sake.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay, so yeah. So now PlayStation 4, Switch, and PC, Monster Hunter Stories. Capcom, come on, man. You guys are like 80-90% now everywhere. Bring this on over to Xbox too. Would you let the Monster Hunter fans everywhere? You started to grow a big Monster Hunter base on Xbox as well. Bring these games over, man. Monster Hunter Stories, June the 14th. And then Monster Hunter Stories 2 also showing up on PlayStation 4. Wings of Ruin, also on June the 14th. This was on Switch and PC since 2021. Yes. So let's see here. Then, oh boy, Atlas fans. We eating good, even though I haven't had my Atlas run yet. Played plenty of Atlas games in my lifetime. Atlas is freaking amazing. Shin Megami Tensei 5 Vengeance is coming to PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC June the 14th. Looking freaking fantastic. Again, this is the series that Persona comes from. Persona is the bigger series now. But Shin Megami Tensei was the original. Persona was a breakaway, a game that they created.
I just never knew that. I thought Shin Megami came after, but it's crazy.
Nope. Shin Megami is the original. So everybody go check out Shin Megami Tensei 5 Vengeance. I can't wait there. I'm going to have my Atlas run, man. Now all these games are coming everywhere. This is going to be a massive run, man, because every one of these games is like 80 plus, 100 plus hours. Easy. Yeah. So then we got hashtag. Wait, am I still in the right week?
I think that's it.
That's it. That's how we're ending. Yeah, I was going to jump into the next week again.
Few games this week, man.
Yeah, a few games. But again, we're in that spot E3 time, even though it's not E3 anymore.
Shadow drops.
Game companies. Shadow drops. There's hints that shadow drops are definitely one at least at the Xbox showcase. We'll see how that rolls. But yeah, we'll potentially see. I mean, we basically got one last night at the Summer Game Fest with the Alan Wake DLC showing up within 24 hours, right? So that was a shadow drop. Everybody knew the DLC was going to be there, but nobody knew it was dropping that quick. Sam Lake, available today. Yep. So for all the Alan Wake fans out there, and it looks super dope. Again, I'm not playing Alan Wake 2. That leans way too much into horror for me now. I love the original one. Great 360 game, one of my favorite 360 titles back in the day. But the new one just leans way too much into horror. I ain't doing it. But this DLC reminds me of Twin Peaks so much. It looks incredible, and I know that's kind of the flavor that they go for anyway over at Remedy. So I shout out to them. That was a cool little announcement that they had last night as well. So, but yeah, that's your upcoming week of games, Steel. So now, an hour and a half in, we can actually start Real show. Let's go.
Ooh, now we can get naked. I'm ready.
Let's go. Whoa,
I think we
sir.
definitely started off with Summer Games Fest, just to go ahead and knock that out, and then we'll probably spend the rest of the show talking about our anticipation for tomorrow, and what we may come up. We may not be as long today, mainly because we are going to be over with Boxenberg and Wandering Dutch on their show, World of Gaming. So definitely check us out there for some additional insight, or maybe we'll just repeat some of the things we're expecting here. But I think we got to be there. I think we're going to drop over there around 1 or so, because I think that's when their show goes live, is around 1 or so, or am I off on that?
I believe the show does
Eastern.
Yeah, so it's 1 o'clock. The show goes live. People, for anybody who doesn't know, Boxenberger's having people drop in and drop out all day long, as he always does each year, to do predictions on the Xbox showcase. So he is doing that. I didn't see. I think we're slated.
For those who don't know, he's from Germany. He's from Germany. He's another great guy from the community.
He's amazing,
super dope dude. If you're not familiar with him, I definitely say check out his channel, Boxenberger.
We are slotted still between 1:45 and 2:30. So so we are slotted
Eastern?
Central. 1:45 to 2:30. We are slotted into that slot. But his show does start at 1.
Okay, so we'll probably fit in right around there, and we'll probably see you about ending the show right around 12 or so, just to give us some time, maybe to get some lunch knocked out, maybe some things knocked out for the afternoon. So just be aware of that. It is going to be a little bit short of a show. So our main crux of the show today, our main point, is going to be talking about Summer Games Fest, and then some of our anticipation for the show tomorrow. Because hopefully Xbox saves the day for this E3 season, because things have been a little seemingly a little dry energy wise, mainly. So but yeah, man, let's get into Summer Games Fest. If you want to kick it off with some of the things that got you excited, or what some of the things that pulled your attention, or maybe I guess before we do that, let's start off with this. I'm gonna pass it off to you because I need to run to the bathroom real quick.
Sure.
I'm start off with you. Give me your overall feeling about Summer Games Fest, now that you've had a night to kind of sit over it. You couldn't chop it up last night with Mav about it, unfortunately. We give him some additional time. But since you've been able to sleep on it, do you still feel solid about it like you did yesterday? Do you still have the games that stick out for you? I got my list I put together. Also included Devolver after that. You can also include Devolver as part of the show as well. Again, it was all kind of happening the same day. Yeah, man, how did you feel about the show? How did you feel about Jeff Keighley, the energy, and what got you excited, man? I'll be right back.
Yeah, no problem. We'll just start with the general overall thoughts. I'm still locked in at a 7 for me. As you guys know, or may not know, I don't judge shows against other shows, even previous year's shows. I try to judge them for what they are, what they give me. I will say in this instance, energy felt different, felt less this time around for a Keighley show. Keighley himself, and again, this is just personal impressions, right? This is all going to be just that. And I didn't have any real expectations going in other than Keighley coming out and saying, hey, just lower your expectations a little bit. It's a slow year for gaming. I thought he did a great job doing that, and that's exactly what we got. But I just felt the show overall, even the audience seemed a little bit muted this year as well. I just thought that Keighley himself didn't come out with his usual level. Now, again, that's just me watching the show. Whatever. If you felt differently, that's cool. But I locked in at a 7 overall for this show. It was probably a 6.5 to 7. I gave it a 7 overall because I did pull out a lot of games, even if they were games I already knew about, which was that was a lot of this. I'm still excited about it, right? I still loved what I saw. Again, as somebody who just rolls into these showcases and just judges them in a black hole, I think I'm still locked in at a 7. According to his own poll, that's high. All right. He put out his own poll, and I think overwhelmingly people gave it a D. I think like 40% of the people gave it a D. And his polls are big, and it's a wide range of people. So it's not like there's just one group or another voting on those polls. He does grab people from across all spectrums, right? Nintendo only fans, Xbox only fans, PlayStation only fans, and everybody in between. So, I just thought the energy was a little different this year. And I think that the big thing for me was Keighley usually has one kind of semi or really big kind of new game or announcement at his shows, right? That's kind of his thing, at least one, right? That kind of nobody was expecting, or even if it leaks, people are still super over the top about. And this year, overall, while there was some great stuff here, he didn't have that one big moment. And maybe that was a part of it. But again, he set the expectations up front, did a nice job doing that, coming out and saying that. He told all the Kingdom Hearts fans that Kingdom Hearts 4 wasn't going to be there. They were still in. I was, as we were co-streaming it, I was watching his chat as well. Those people were still in there. The Silk Song fans were still in there, as they are always, acting like they expected it to be here. Excuse me. But obviously he had already said for sure Kingdom Hearts 4 wasn't going to be there. So what the show gave me, though, there was a lot of cool stuff to see here. Again, there was a lot of smaller titles as well, which a lot of people hate or don't like or don't appreciate in this gaming industry. But starting off the show, obviously with the well, let me say this too, since Steel kind of included in there, the Devolver Digital show afterwards. Devolver don't miss. You might not like Devolver style. I get it. It's weird. It's wacky. It's wild. Some of it can be cringy. But this year's whole Devolver showcase wrapped around this guy who was obsessed with Volvi. And for anybody who doesn't know, Volvi is a made up video game character created by Devolver that is as big as Mario or Zelda in the world, or any Sonic or whatever, Master Chief. And they've done this now for a couple years. And this year was wrapped up around this dude who's obsessed with them, and it had serial killer vibes for sure throughout the entire show. And they actually introduced games through this dude's story while he was talking and going through different things. It was crazy. It was wild. I love Devolver. It was entertaining as hell. I gave the Devolver showcase an easy 9.5. It was so much fun. Didn't even care about the games they showed. Actually, I did care about some of the games they showed. But I'm just saying overall, it was just the presentation that won me over. It was insane. I love Devolver. But starting off the showcase with Lego Horizon Adventures, right? This had been leaked out that they were working on this. That PlayStation was taking Horizon to the Lego side of things, which was dope. And him kicking it off with this, I thought it showed great. Lego games are always cool. Me and the kiddo played a ton of Lego games when he was really young, obviously. Played a ton of Lego games. And I played a ton of Lego games on my own during, especially 360 generation. For me, I don't play them as much anymore. Do I still find them cool and interesting? Yes, I am one of the people who does enjoy Horizon. I'm going to pick up Horizon Forbidden West on PC at some point to play it when I have a moment. And so I loved what I saw here. Again, the interesting part was coming to PlayStation, PC. Okay, not shocking. But then Jeff goes, and Nintendo Switch. And he gave it a little extra. He gave it a little Keighley extra there. That is interesting to me. That is something that, again, not shocking to those of us who've been talking about this, but a PlayStation, and I know all the excuses, I know all the reasons why this totally makes sense, and it's no big deal, blah, blah, blah. If you think during the PlayStation 4 generation that Sony ever would have done a Lego deal and had to include Nintendo in that deal, you're nuts. That Sony is a different Sony. Okay, it's a different PlayStation. They are opening things up. They are looking to spread their IP elsewhere outside of their ecosystem. This is nothing new to anybody who's been listening to us or a billion other shows who've been talking about the bigger picture. So, but I just thought it was kind of a cool little moment there that all of a sudden we got the Switch gets a PlayStation IP. So, but it looked great. I think it looked really good. Aloy is a totally different character in the Lego game than she is in the Horizon games. I will say that. Again, even as a fan, I was like, oh, they transplanted her personality. Okay,
I felt like it's weird, almost like it was so detracting. Like I was like, bro, why does Aloy in a Lego game? And again, I know why. Lego always does really well as far as their acting goes in their games, right?
Yes.
But
Well,
why can't they carry over to the actual game?
Yeah, well, no, because I know, but this is like the Lego version of her, right? So she's gonna be over the top. She's gonna be excitable. She's gonna be all the things that she's not in Horizon, right? So I still thought it was fun. So it's Lego, right? But I thought him starting off the show with this was dope. I thought it was a good way to start the show. Again, I thought pacing was okay in this show. It wasn't the greatest I've ever had, but I didn't feel any time except for that one mobile commercial that spent like $1 million because now we know the pricing for this showcase. Spent $1 million on that crazy adventure mobile game with what's his face is a chicken suit and weirdness all over the place.
By Supercell or whatever game. People who make like not Castle Crashers. That's something completely different. No, the game that you like you play on your fucking phone and shit.
That was the only downtime. Right, that was the only part where I was like, this is stupid. Like, this is ridiculous. So, I can't remember it anymore. Yeah. Anyways, but yeah, no. Other than that, some things that I pulled out, right. And I should say this since I talked about the beginning of the showcase with the Horizon Lego game, which I thought was great. Horizon Lego Adventures, ending the show with Phantom Zero. And showing actual gameplay. Solid. Again, it was a great, solid ending. That was a game. Yeah, and that was a game that we had seen a CGI trailer where again a lot of people questioned whether or not the game was going to look like that, because just like Black Myth Wukong, the first time we ever saw that a few years ago, we were like, "Yo, what is this legit? Is this bullshotting? I mean, what is this the actual game?" Well, now we know Black Myth is legit, right. And so a lot of people were talking about that with Phantom Zero after we saw the trailer, like, we never heard of this studio. Are they really doing something this good looking? And sure enough, they showed off the gameplay. It was close. It was close.
Looks pretty damn similar.
Close. So I thought that was a great way to end the show. So I thought the bookends were perfect here. I thought they did a nice job. Otherwise, in between, some of the stuff, again, seeing First Descendant got me more excited for it. Already seen Steel play it, had seen all the trailers up to this point. Looked really, as always, impressive. It just looks great for free-to-play games.
Anybody that's interested, you can go down. You want to stay and live in split screen? I definitely recommend it. Definitely check out my gameplay for the First Descendant. It's on the channel. If you want to check out some newer gameplay, it's definitely out there. But check it out and see if it's for you. It's going to be free to play. It's coming everywhere. I'm going to be there day one. Shit, who knows? The entire family might be there.
July 2nd. But we got the release date.
Be there. That is
right. We got the release date. So July 2nd.
July 2nd is the day. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's dope.
So thought that was cool as hell. What else? Valorant coming to consoles finally.
It's big, man. This
is big, man. The Riot Games, a whole new version of Valorant, right? So because of how the game plays, they could not just port the PC version to console. They talked about this, so there won't be crossplay. I saw some people, saying, "Oh God, console players are dead. They're going to be playing against PC players, keyboard and mouse." Nah, it's a totally different version. It's going to be console version. Again, free to play.
It's so weird that it's like that too, because there's two sides of the spectrum. There are PC games that exist that are very difficult to transfer over to controller because of how dependent they are on reflexes, because of just how the base game is. Call of Duty had always been made for consoles. So when you bring it over to PC, and I think that's what really made Halo special, because Halo was able to demonstrate how to make the transition. Hey, this is how a shooter can feel on a console. And it didn't have to be the end all to say all, but it ended up being, right? And you saw Call of Duty follow that, and so on and so forth. Because mind you, I don't care what anybody says, the cap that they want to do, PC is always going to have an advantage, point blank, period. There is no other argument to have. You can argue with me about auto aim, and I don't give a fuck about any of that. Bro, it is, if you are decent at all on mouse and keyboard, The more difficult part is moving around with the keyboard. But as far as using the mouse, an average ass player can get some consistent ass headshots with mouse. Just because, again, the point to people is, bro, you got to think about it figuratively. A thumb versus an entire arm. What are we talking about? In the end, the space that you have available to you on your desk or whatever the case is also something that you consider. Unless you're playing like a laptop where you have that doesn't make sense and would be uncomfortable as well. Again, if you're making it happen, you're a beast. But bro, certain games just don't transfer over well. Counter-Strike, that's why Counter-Strike will never be what it is on console, because I mean, sure, you're getting compatibility, and like Pong has made the point before, I think that should exist, right? Where they offer a form of Valorant in this instance that, sure, it's on console, but maybe they do like Halo, maybe they do like Gears, where you limit the input. Hey, you're only going to play with controller players if you choose this setting. Hey, you'll only play with mouse. And that should be the future that we move towards, because right now what they're creating is two different bases now, right? Yeah. Which is fine. I mean, it's still, I'm pretty sure the Valorant PC players would come over to console just because they could probably wreck. And if an MLG team, or it's not considered MLG because MLG is gone, sorry. But if a professional gaming team was created on the console base, that would just help the overall Valorant community. And I think their main point for Valorant as well is just to see if even the console players are interested in it. So.
Yeah, well, of course. I mean, it's huge. It's giant, and it makes sense that they're going to bring it to console and try. Like, it makes total sense. And I love how they're doing it. Still, they're not just slapping it together. They're not just throwing it out there and be like, hey, what happened? You know, whatever happens, it's cool. We still got a huge base over on PC. We're good. Riot Games is making a go of this. Like, they want to make the console experience great. And I was going to talk about that next. So again, no crossplay with PC players, different build. They're going to ramp up the build. They're starting out with a limited beta and then going to an open beta. If you want to get into limited beta, I signed up for it last night. You can find where they go and sign up for it. They're going to roll it out slowly. They're going to roll out new maps slowly to the community so that they can make adjustments as they need to with the console players. Like, they are doing this right. But the cool part is, even though there's no crossplay, even though it's a different version between PC and console, they are allowing cross progress to happen. Cross progress is going to happen. So you get to keep your stuff from console if you decide to go to PC and start playing it on PC. Also, a big thing, because it looks like PlayStation paid a little bit extra to get themselves promoted. We don't know if they paid extra or if Riot Games just chose to do it, but we know Xbox has a deal with Riot Games for PC Game Pass, because that was a big announcement where you get all the League of Legends, Valorant, all of that content is open and available if you have PC Game Pass, which is thousands of dollars worth of content, right? Open. So we know they had that deal, but suddenly at this show, Riot Games was promoting PlayStation as the place to sign up for the limited beta. Well, it came out afterwards, right? It came out afterwards. No, it's everywhere. Xbox, same time, you have access to the limited beta. They're not doing a PS5 exclusive beta. They're not doing any of that shit. And it also was confirmed that deal that Xbox has in place with Riot Games does carry over to console. So when you get Valorant, even in the limited beta, if you've got Game Pass, characters are all open for you. As they add the characters to the beta, those will be instantly available to you as well if you have Game Pass. So we are getting massive benefits on the Xbox side for this game, which is awesome. It's all part of the same deal. But I love the slow roll that they're going to do. It sounds like right now they kind of gave the roadmap between the limited beta and open beta. This is going to roll from June the 14th, limited beta, all the way through July. Right now, they kind of have roadmapped, and they said they will have more information as they go forward. But they're going to build this game for consoles in a slow, methodical, thought out way. They want the experience for the console players. They want the console players to get up to speed so that they can enjoy the game like the PC side does. So they are doing this very thoughtfully. And I got to say, for a big company like Riot Games, to be taking this much care with the console side of things, it shows me something. Yeah, it shows me something. I'm jumping into this. I'm going to check it out. Don't know if it'd be the biggest thing for me, if I'll stick with it, but I'm going to try it. It's free to play. So I thought Valorant coming to consoles was awesome, man. It was a great showing. Again, Dune Awakening, we got another story CGI. I want to see gameplay. And we're supposedly going to get that obviously at a later date. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 trailer. I'm already sold on Kingdom Come Deliverance. I'm going to start. I already downloaded it, had started up a new game on Steam. It's totally different game than it is on console, but Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 trailer. I don't need to be sold anymore. It kind of sold Steel a little bit more, which is awesome. But for me, it looked great. And I was like, yeah, just give me more of this. This is awesome. So that was a great showing as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Let's see what else. Delta Force. Yo, anybody not paying attention? Delta Force is going to be a free to play first person shooter coming out. They're relaunching Delta Force called Hawk Ops. They're going to have what sounds to be like a paid campaign, which is licensed Black Hawk Down. So they are doing a whole campaign around the Black Hawk Down story, and it's fully licensed. So they're going to recreate moments. Number one, it's in Unreal Engine 5. It looks gorgeous. Okay. It
looks
free to play on the multiplayer side. I'm good. I'll be downloading and trying Delta Force for sure.
It's co-op too, I believe. It's
co-op too. Yes. And they're going to have different modes. Their big one is the extraction shooter mode, of course, because that's all the rage nowadays.
Military shooter. I want to see.
But it's more military tactical shooter. It's not straight up arcadey. It's not Call of Duty. It is more tactical. It's somewhere in between sim and arcade. That's what the kind of game they're going for. But when they showed the Black Hawk Down stuff, straight from the movie, riding in the copter, oh man. Okay, Delta Force looks great. It's kind of sliding underneath the radar because we have so many FPSs. We have so many military, I want to jump into Gray Zone at some point as well.
It looked really similar to COD for sure. Gray Zone is another one that I'm also I've been interested in jump into too.
We might have to jump into that, brother. Check it out. Yeah, exactly. So that was awesome. Let me see here. New World coming to console. Take it or leave it. It's going to be a paid MMO. Again, this is the Amazon MMO that blew up on PC for a couple, 2-3 months, and then slowly died off as they could not get content out. They could not keep up. They made changes that pissed off the community. Again, nowadays, too many other games to play, man. People are going to walk. But they're going to try to revive it, bring it to console. I'm all good with it. Bring it to console. I don't know if I'm going to play it day one, but bring it to console. See what happens, man. So I was cool with that. I'll let Steel get into Pal World stuff. Monster Hunter Wilds, another great freaking trail. Monster Hunter Wilds is going to be huge. Monster Hunter Wilds is going to be massive. After the success of World, what they're doing here, I love what I'm seeing in Monster Hunter Wilds. So I'm in. I can't wait. I got Steel and the fam now that do play Monster Hunter. I'll be jumping in. This looks great. Capcom don't miss. Okay. And their trailers are freaking fantastic. And the gameplay looks incredible. I really like the look of this game. Path of the Goddess, Kinutsugami, Path of the Goddess coming to Game Pass. We got a date on that one, July 19th. Again, summer's filling up. There is no bad time to release games anymore, folks. July 19th, Kinutsugami, Path of the Goddess. I said it long ago. Every time I see this game, I know it's a mixed mash of genres. I know it's not going to appeal to everybody, but the more polish I see on this game, the more stylized gameplay that I see from Capcom with these crazy festival-looking colors, but you're fighting freaking ridiculously cool-looking monsters, mythology monsters from the East. Like, this game has game of the year potential on it, man. Like, it really does for me. Like, when I see it, I'm like, yo, this could capture a lot of people. We'll see. Again, it's mix mashing a lot of different genres, some things that people might not get into, but for me, sold. And it's coming to Game Pass day and date, July 19th. We good. I'm all about Path of the Goddess. Look great. I already talked about Phantom Blade Zero trailer. I thought that looked really good. So yeah, that's some of the stuff that I pulled away from it. There was plenty more in here. I'll let Steele talk about some of the other stuff or whatever else he wants to add on to me. I know he might talk about Power Rangers and that kind of stuff as well. But overall, Star Wars Outlaw teaser trailer too. Again, just we're going to get more gameplay on, we're going to get more gameplay. We're going to see it at Ubisoft Forward. I'm already sold. This is the most stuck. And again, this trailer did nothing but tell me yet again, this is more Star Wars-y outside of Nyx. Outside of Nick, this is more Star Wars-y than Disney's ever done. Okay, with the franchise. To me, that's the feeling that I'm getting. Maybe Rogue One, because I love Rogue One too. That's the one Disney that I do give them. But Star Wars Outlaws continues to look great. But yeah, Steele, that was my thoughts on Summer Game Fest. Again, a solid 7. I did talk about Devolver. Again, game-wise, I was trying to think of the name. What was the one game? There was a couple games that really stood out of Devolver.
Tenjutsu was mine, and then Possessors.
Yes. And Possessors looked weird, yes, but it looked cool as hell. But it looks kind of, maybe, I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, Angerfoot too. Angerfoot continues to make me laugh. I'm not gonna.
It reminded me of High on Life.
Bro, yes, kind of like High on Life, but man, the combat looked amazing. You change out your sneakers and do different styles. Like, it looked kind of fun again. But yeah, Tenjutsu and Possessors were the two that stood out for me. But Devolver did a great job. Again, presentation, fucking out of the park. Okay, 10 out of 10.
They went to a different planet. After we got done watching that, I was like, I literally sat back and asked, I was like, what did I watch? Like, what just happened?
Right. It was amazing.
And then I looked at the games that I wrote down. I was like, I guess. I'm so lost. But yeah, it was good. It was interesting. I like the vibe that they gave off with it. Again, yeah, it was cringy, but it was meant to be, right? And I like the way that they did the dialogue. And I heard you mention that earlier when I stepped away. I like the way that they did the dialogue with him, like thinking to himself in his head, talking about the game that was coming up. It's just, you got to be creative, man. And that's what Pong be talking about as far as Devolver goes. Like, and I wasn't familiar with Devolver until I got involved with the community like that. And then I've been seeing them do these shows, and it's like, these dudes is actually pretty cool. But yeah.
So talk about your thoughts. I'm gonna run to the bathroom real quick.
Yeah, you're good. For me, Summer Games Fest, man. I heard everything that Pong said. And I'll kind of run it from top to bottom. Again, overall, I think Keeley did okay. The biggest takeaway though for me is the energy wasn't there. Extremely lacking. And I think that's what made the show worse, because it felt like it was missing something. When I was sleeping on it overnight, I've come to the realization that I think what it was missing is just soul. There was no soul there. I pulled out 15 games from Summer Games Fest. It would be impossible for me to, especially because I agree with Pong, I look at these shows in a vacuum. It would be impossible for me to give this show like a 3, 4, 5, pulling out 15 games that I got interested in. Right. It was just the presentation and the energy that they were given. And that's what I'd be talking about the industry. Like, in order to get other people interested, you have to bring a certain level of energy, because there's going to be a lot of games out there that aren't for everybody, but you can get somebody to get in some form of interest into them by just having good energy, right? But maybe that's just a me thing or what I believe in. Good energy is always going to reciprocate. You're going to continue to bring that in. Sure, there might be some low moments and you can acknowledge them, but you always bring that energy. So when I go down the list, Horizon Adventures, again, to Pong's point, PlayStation going third party. They've all been going third party, man. This is the route that they need to go. It's going to become a point to where hardware is just something that is accessible. Does Sony have the better version? Does Microsoft have the better version? Does Nintendo have the better version? They're all going to have similar access to certain things in their ecosystems, right? Not everything, maybe. Again, look at how the TV services are doing it. Hulu, Netflix, Tubi, HBO, all of them. At some point, they get each other's content. At some point. Maybe not up front, but at some point they do. And at some point, you may subscribe. Like right now, I don't watch TV like that. There's a lot of people who do, and I definitely get that. So those people may catch up on them shows, but when I get caught up, maybe everything will end up being a Netflix, and that's where I end up subscribing for some time, right? Or that's where I end up spending my time for some time, right? So it's like, I just see the future of what gaming is as different, because how else are you going to disrupt the cost that you're spending? Again, if things go this ARM architecture route, and for an example, things go away from being times 86, it's all going to be, again, I don't like to get too far in the mumbo jumbo of things. I wouldn't even be technically be able to get in that deep into it with y'all. Right now, and the way that I'm looking at it into the future, games are going to have to be developed in a similar form, right? That is the only way that you can upset any form of cost that you are bringing to the table, because you don't want to bring the quality bar down, right? As we've already seen, because we complain about that enough. Oh, games come out broke all the time. Me and Paul mentioned that. Hey, this is what we've gotten some good games though that people said were broken. Hey, shout out to Cyberpunk. My wife just for the second time, she just finished. I think she probably has at least over 300 hours in her second playthrough. And she literally did everything. All the side missions, cleared the entire map, literally everything. She went hard. She was crazy. It was awesome. But it was also awesome to see, because I got to watch her play the DLC. Again, it all goes back to the accessibility of things. Anyway, side tangent. It's just PlayStation moving this direction to where they just exclude what Xbox is doing. Again, it's competition. But I also think that that's, again, acknowledging still that they see each other that way. And they will always could probably continue to see each other that way, and they should. That's what we want. I don't think that goes away if their games become available on more platforms. If Xbox puts everything everywhere, but PlayStation does the exact same thing, again, that's just them going back and forth. And the point that I shot to GRG, the honeys, last night, they were talking a little bit about it. And the thing that I would bring to the table about that is, at the end of the day, if PlayStation allows Xbox games to come into their ecosystem to draw any attention, shouldn't that make you question yourself as a PlayStation gamer as well? That Sony doesn't believe that, or their live service content. What if they allow Halo multiplayer in? Because your next multiplayer won't be Concord, and right now it's not getting the best hype. It's not getting the best attention, regardless of the few that may feel good about it. I mean, again, like me and Pong felt about Suicide Squad. We're in the very few who feel like the game was good and actually spoke to the Rocksteady name. So in this instance, is it going to be the same for PlayStation in that fact? I don't know. But Horizon Adventure was cool. Lego was really dope. More energy to Aloy was also dope to see as well. I want to see them transfer some of that to the actual game itself. Redo the first and second game with that type of energy. Not all the time. I'm not saying she got to be uppity, but she needs to feel like she's part of the world. Like I just don't get that from her. It doesn't transfer. There's something there that I'm missing. And maybe it's just me. Harry Potter Quidditch was announced here as well. That threw me for a loop, because I was expecting for it to be of the same graphical style, the same art style as the Hogwarts was. And it's not. It's more cartoony, which, again, I guess I understand, I get, but I need to see gameplay. I don't think that was a time for you to just show me what seemed like CGI. And again, these days, it's more than likely that the game will look like that. But is it over the shoulder? Is it over the top? Is it, like, how does it control? How is it supposed to feel? How am I supposed to go about this? Is it going to be part of Hogwarts? It's its own thing. Because that was the other thing that I saw people talking about. They were like, is this, so I load into the game and it just turns into this different style? Like, no, it's going to be its own, from what we understand, its own standalone thing. But it could be cool depending on if it ends up being fun. Outlaws, again, is a standout. Ubisoft is going to talk about that. Paul already talked about it. I'm just going to match the hype as far as that goes. Black Myth Wukong. Black Myth Wukong is definitely one of my most anticipated games of the year. It is really weird to see there be a delay for the Xbox version of the game. It's also very strange to me that it went under the radar. I still don't know if the main team for Black Myth Wukong has come out and said anything about that. Outside of just maybe they changed their website and that's and the other little socials or whatever to reflect, but I hadn't seen an official announcement, so I feel like that was really weird. And the fact that this is happening like, I also wonder how aware Xbox is of this. Because it's one of those games, because of the kind of hype that it's getting, Souls genre is getting, Elden Ring is about to, I think the DLC is going to again demonstrate the power of Elden Ring. Again, it's its own fucking game. Apparently, this is at least 40 hours of additional content. And that's not small for FromSoft. At least. So seeing them have what seemingly is a hardware delay, something that they got to do for optimization, it's just really strange to me. But I also in the DMs, I said the guys, apparently, I don't know how true this is going to be, to play 4K on PC is going to take 32 gigs of RAM. That is fucking insane.
Mm-hmm.
That is, we're talking about like, you're trying to do 8K type shit. So if you're telling me the asset, like, is this going to be one of the first true 4K native games? I don't know. It seems like it needs some more optimization though. That's what that kind of tells me, because you're telling somebody who has on the high end that they gotta have 64 gigs of RAM in their computer to be able to play your game, so that half of it can play your game. I mean, there's more than that ends up getting used. That's just crazy to see. But it's working on the PlayStation, which I know it has a little bit more RAM than the Xbox does. So maybe that's some of the benefit that they're seeing from that. Maybe that's where the optimization going. Yes, the Series S is going to be in question, but I thought Xbox was separating themselves out from having to keep that consistency between both consoles. They can release on the Series X and then come to the Series S later, or Series S is going to be 30. I don't know, man. It's just really weird to see. What's going on? Yeah. Yobi's talking about Hogwarts, the Hogwarts Quidditch game. Says it's its own game away from Hogwarts Legacy. Yobi said he's actually played it a while back. Hey, don't get yourself in trouble, man. He said he played it a while back. It's a free-to-play game. You start off picking or creating a wizard. You don't have a lot of options. You got to unlock them more. I think that's okay, and I think that has some possibility. But the gameplay needs to be good. Jasper says, to be fair, if you have a 4K GPU, why are you running less than 32 gigs of RAM? That's a really good point. If you're spending that kind of money, that is very true. But you should at least still be able to play on. It's the way over the top is the point. I can see it being half of that for sure, and even that would be high. Anyway,
it's all about priorities, and we know the game's going to be big. Supposedly, it's 130 gigs as well, right, Steele? So this game is going to be big. It's going to be massive. We heard potentially the number of monsters. We talked about that a week or two ago. Bosses, I should say. This is going to be a big game. This sounds like it's going to be a giant game. And for Game Science, obviously, they haven't done a whole lot, right? They don't. They got veteran devs, but they haven't done a whole. I mean, again, this is their first outing.
In RAM
again, it sucks though right now that the Xbox version is delayed. Again, I can't say it any other way. This is Baldur's Gate 3 all over again. There's plenty to play, right? Again, Xbox first party is going to be dropping tons of games, right? So the point is not like, oh my God, there's going to be nothing to play now if Black Myth doesn't show up on Xbox day one. But the fact is that Black Myth, and we will find out. We still don't know because nobody's has the controllers in their hands. But if Black Myth becomes one of those talking point games that everybody is talking about, like Baldur's Gate 3 became, and a lot of it was just talk, right? A lot of it showed up that when it even hit consoles, especially PlayStation, that not a lot of people bought and played Baldur's Gate 3, okay? But this could be one of those talking point games that, again, when it comes out, I don't care about the clown show narratives about, oh, it's a de facto PlayStation exclusive, blah, blah. I don't give that shit. Anyways, but the fact is that the Xbox players, the Xbox only players will be on the outside looking in for those people who were wanting to play it. And that sucks for the fan base. And again, it's not anything that necessarily Xbox can control. This is a dev thing. Much like Baldur's Gate 3 was, much like all the issues that we've heard of in the past with, devs coming out and blaming the Series S and then a month later, 2 months later, 3 months later, having a patch that fixes everything and in fact improves the other versions like Baldur's Gate 3. it still is shitty, right? That a game that a lot of people are anticipating is not going to be there day one. And it does suck. It sucks for the devs as well, whether this was a priority thing, or a resource thing, and they just prioritize the other versions. And obviously it was going to take a little bit more work to get it on the Xbox. If it was because of the Series S, whatever, they just didn't have the time to put into it. It sucks for them because they miss out on that moment on a platform where people would be buying it. And so, and there are a lot of people, again, not us, but a lot of people buy the games based upon what everybody else is talking about. And they will make that day one purchase because, oh, I got to be a part of this conversation. Oh, yeah. I got to talk about this game and I want to be playing this game. So that is all shitty, man. There's no other way to put it. You don't want this happening. And I hope, we don't know how long the delay is going to be. It could be 2 weeks, right? It might not be a Baldur's Gate 3 situation. If it turns into a Baldur's Gate 3 situation and we don't see Black Myth Wukong till next year, well, then already that moment has passed for a lot of people, right? Yeah. And it's going to be like, whatever. I hope Xbox, Microsoft are doing what they can do with game science to make it, to bring it like they did with Baldur's Gate 3. Because it can change. That can send them whatever help. Yeah, send them whatever help they need. Get them whatever they need to try to get these things done as fast as possible, get those additions out. It was just a strange moment with no heads up from game science, right? No heads up from anybody prior to that. Hey, we're going to have to delay the Xbox game, to have it show up on the Summer Game Fest, and go look amazing yet again, and then go to the screen and the platforms are showing and there's no Xbox there after everybody knew that it was coming to Xbox. After all this time, it's been said coming to Xbox. And heard you and Mav talking about it because I was in the car at the time. Yeah. It's going, what? No Xbox logo. Did PlayStation money hat this thing again? Do we have another Stellar Blade situation? Is that possible? Do they just pay for the advertising here? So that's why it's left off of there. What's going on? And not to have any public statement from their Twitter account talking about the delay. You guys had to go find an FAQ because I went back on their Twitter. They had posted, hey, come pre-order PlayStation, come pre-order PC, collector's editions, blah, blah. Nothing about the delay, right? Nothing about the delay. Like, that was just really weird to me. And it was just, disappointing. Again, I'll be able to play it if I want to on the PC, obviously, but I'm still disappointed for the console only players as somebody who's just has been a console only player for a long time. I know how it feels, man. Sometimes when a big game comes and you don't have a chance to play it. So it was a weird moment for sure, Steel.
Yeah, no, it was definitely, it made me feel a little bit strange, but to Kumi's point, and even in chat, saying the PC requirements being that high points to PC having to brute force its way to decent performance. PS5 was likely the lead platform, and it was. Again, they're an Eastern company. They're going to do business with an Eastern hardware company. PlayStation is the known commodity. As a new developer, why wouldn't you want to put your game on PlayStation? It's kind of how I would look at it as well, because again, you're going to get the most eyes on it, and it is of the style of game that those players are used to. Single player, Soulsy like games, right? A lot of the times, right? The way people feel about Demon Souls, Bloodborne, you go down the list. It just makes sense for them to do that, but Xbox definitely needs to step in there for sure.
Yeah. Nixie,
what?
Ryan McCaffrey's integrity has long been thrown out the window. I don't even know why you say something like that, sir. I don't know who takes Ryan McCaffrey serious anymore.
He's going to be chopping it up with Phil after the show tomorrow, man.
He's been called out by every side of the community. I don't know how many times the Xbox guys have gone back at him for his Tomb Raider exclusivity deal comments that he had. And then since that point, right, his changing opinion on exclusivity, depending on the way the wind blows. Yeah, no, Ryan McCaffrey's integrity has long been thrown out the window, sir, and has been talked about at length multiple times. Anyways, yeah. But yeah, he gets an interview with Phil. Like I said, they still get bonuses. These big companies still get bonuses and access that the regular people don't get. And I've said all along, they should do better because obviously they get things that we don't get, but whatever, it's not going to change anytime soon. So continue to burn. But yeah, I just, yeah. And Boss Mod, I've said it we've talked about this plenty too. In 2024, right? The people you're talking to, the gamers that you're talking to, the people that pay attention, right? Be transparent with what's going on. Okay. The devs need to be more transparent about what's going on, because the people, the masses aren't watching your Twitter feed. The masses aren't picking up on, oh, it's not coming to Xbox. It's the enthusiasts, right? It's the passionate gamers, and the passionate gamers are more educated than ever before. All of this hiding and playing hide and seek with the real reasons of why things aren't happening. Again, you don't have to give us the whole layout of every little detail, but be real with us. If it is it is, say it's performance issues, but say we just didn't have time. Right? Again, just say we didn't have time to give the proper treatment to the Xbox version, so therefore we're going to have to delay it. Come out and say it. Again, it's not going to damage anything, right? People already are going to think what they're going to think on one side or the other about why it's not showing up, but be real about it as a dev, right? Why hide it? Right? Why play this game?
PlayStation's the lead platform. We want to make sure development is solid for day one.
Everybody knows.
We want to put out a polished product, and it's just going to take us some additional development time to release our version on Xbox. It's still coming. We want people to be able to play this game, but as they did somewhat. There just hasn't been this loud announcement for it. So it's just weird to see. Once Human being announced here was also dope. It's only coming to PC though. So something that you got to consider, it's a open world survival looter shooter type style game. It seems to be really dope. I haven't played the beta. I didn't get into it for when they were doing a little bit of a closed run for it, unfortunately, but it looks really enticing. It looks really weird and over the top. You're supposed to have powers in this game as well, so that adds another element of some dopeness to it. So but it stood out again. I didn't know it was getting ready to release, so or coming out this year. So that's really going to be fun. Jax82 with the 5 bones. He says Baldur's Gate 3 came out August 3rd on PC, released on PlayStation September 6th, and Xbox December 7th.
Yep. So it was a 3-month delay. Yep. That is correct, sir. Yep.
They had to, and through the power of the Series S, they were able to find some additional optimization for all platforms. Damn. Seems like innovation could be useful sometimes. Again, I'm not saying that the Series S is perfect, and as we've mentioned before, I'm pretty sure all the devs would tell you they would love to work on only the top of the line equipment. It's just not the case all the time, and sometimes you got to put your pedal to the metal, man. So, Space Marine 2, again, I talked about that already. Multiplayer's got me hyped. The game, I just played the first one, I want to say last year. Super dope game. Really excited for that to drop. Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. The gameplay looks really dope. I'm a Budokai Tenkaichi fan. For those who are familiar with that, it's a fighter. I think Dragon Ball's back. There seems to be a lot of love put into this. My biggest standout for this game, and it's something that Budokai Tenkaichi has always similarly done, is that they're keeping up with modern Dragon Ball. So like all the characters that are currently known, even in manga and whatnot, I think are probably going to end up being unlockable characters in here. And the other thing that they also like to do is that they don't show you everybody that can be unlocked. Because one of the dopest things about Budokai Tenkaichi 3 was unlocking other characters in ways that you weren't familiar with. Like you had to know somebody that knew somebody that ended up doing it a certain way, who told his friend about it, that ended up telling you about it to figure out that, oh, damn, I can get that character in here. And then boom, you do it a certain way. They also had a roll system in there where it was always random on the characters you can get because you can level up your character. It was just had so many underlying elements to it that was super dope. And I think they're going to end up bringing that back. Power Rangers Rita's Rewind, that threw me, that came out of left field. I think what's really got me excited about it is, of course, I am that generation of Power Ranger fan, right? So they're instantly playing off of nostalgia. Power Rangers had some games back in the day, but this game is of that ilk of the TMNT game that we just got, the Ninja Turtle game, which we played in co-op. It was fucking fun as hell. And I could just imagine doing that again with Power Rangers. and just having fucking stupid amount of fun. I can see them doing DLC characters for this, different generations of Rangers. Like, there's just a lot of content that they can do to come with this, and that's got me excited. I'm kind of day one on there too. I'm not even gonna lie. I might cop it day one, but it looked really exciting. That was probably the highlight of the show for me because, again, yeah, it's going back to the bit days, and I don't typically play those style of games anymore. I used to a lot when I was younger, when my uncle put me on PC through their emulators and whatnot. But yeah, it was super dope. Kingdom Come Deliverance, like Pong had mentioned, it pulled more interest for me this time. I guess since I've played Skyrim, Fallout, I've kind of in that Bethesda verse. I didn't see the third person option though, so I don't know if that's going to be there. If not, that may be a reason that I don't end up playing it. But I do like the way the story presentation, that might pull me in enough to maybe check it out. If it ends up being in Game Pass, I would probably check it out at that point. But yeah, it was cool. I mean, it definitely appealed to me much more than it did before, for sure. First Descendant, again, we talked about that already. That's day one for me. I'm going to be locked in. Some of the chat's going to be locked in as well. Decado, I know Paul's going to be trying it out as well. Again, if you're a fan of Warframe, this seems to be something that's a little bit easier to understand than Warframe is, especially up front. Warframe can be extremely overwhelming. From what I've experienced in the First Descendant, it's easy to understand. It's like one of your typical looter shooters, like a Division, right? I know the Division can have some complexity to it, but it's also, I think it's really easy to understand. You know what you're doing, know what you're choosing, why you're choosing it, but it does have that time gate kind of thing where their version of getting you to spend money is, hey, you got all the parts for this character. It's going to take 12 hours of real life time for this character to be developed and made. You can speed that up if you spend $10 though, or spend $5. You know, that's the kind of thing, how they're kind of monetizing off of this. And I definitely hope that they change their customization scheme, because right now, apparently for the colors, once you use the color, and Destiny did this as well. So it's not like people were trying to blow it out of proportion. Like, oh man, why would they do this? It's a free to play game, guys. Like, except Destiny's a full price game. So that's why that would made it much more worse for Bungie. But their customization scheme, apparently for the colors and whatnot, was it's a one-time use. You have to get multiple versions of it. Like, let's say you apply a color to a skin, it's gone after you use that. You can't take that color and apply it to a different skin. No, you got to go get the color again.
Nice.
And so you can, you know what I'm saying? It gives you a reason to do that. I like some of that. As long as I know I can get it in game, it doesn't make it as big of a problem. And it kind of, you end up going through stages, right, of your game life. And I think that's kind of cool because it's kind of the development. Now, would I want that up front? No. Give me a fucking color wheel. I don't know why more games, maybe it's difficult, but give me a color wheel. Day one, that's all I want. Color wheel.
Kind of says they talked about changing it, so.
Yeah, they did talk about changing, and maybe they'll change it day one. So we'll see. Again, as long as I can get it in game, that's the main thing I care for. And then do some of the special metallic colors or some shit. You want me to $5 for those or whatever, kind of like Warframe does. They do Warframe sells color palettes. So, but yeah, Hyper Light Breaker, another one on my list. Third person action adventure game. Yeah. Super dope indie style game. Monster Hunter Wild. Main thing about Monster Hunter Wild that I want people to take away: cross-play. There's not going to be cross progression, but there is going to be cross play. They came out and the actual Monster Hunter team came out and said, yeah, we're not doing cross progression or whatever. Whatever platform you play on is the platform you play on. So that's something to keep in mind. So if you're playing on console, no matter what, or PC, they removed the biggest barrier that I think has been limiting Monster Hunter. And with adding crossplay, Monster Hunter Wilds is about to go ballistic. There's going to be so many players in that player pool for such a fucking long time because of this crossplay being there. Because it's that time value thing that's going to be there. People are going to make if there's another game that would also make people decide on a platform, I think Monster Hunter would also is in that conversation now as well. because people get really invested into it. Monster Hunter World seemed to get a lot of people's hype. Their biggest takeaway has been, man, I have to start over every time I go to a different platform to play with my friends, or if I want to play with my friends, I have to get another platform. And now that's no longer going to be the case. Such a beautiful thing to fucking see. And I'm so hyped for Monster Hunter Wilds. Path of the Goddess Kunitsugami it's going to be just a fucking standout. It's combining so many different elements of the game. Paul mentioned it as well. I love the overall art style, combat mechanics. It's speaking to me. So those are the main things for that. Yobi says, Pong Soul, do the unboxing before the show wraps up. I don't believe he will make it. He probably worked all
we'll do that. We got to give away those 2 codes too after we're done here too. So
we're going to do that. I'm going to drop the first. I'm going to drop the first code here in a moment. I'm just going to drop it in chat.
Remember, US code.
It is a US only code, but chat, I need you to tell me when you claim the code. And the code is going to be for Hypercharge Unboxed. Ladies and gentlemen, please jump into this game. This game sold 60,000 copies thus far. It has been a hit on the Xbox platform. A lot of people engaging right now. Thank you to Yobi for dropping those codes into the DMs, man. Beautiful thing to see. I can't wait to jump in myself at some point just for the third person action. But chat, please let us know if somebody claims it. Let me know when you get it. We can shout you out and we at least know that it's recovered, because if it is not, I will carry it over to the next show, but I don't want to carry over dead codes. And speaking of which, since everybody's chopping it up right now, I'm pretty sure y'all chopping at the bit. Shout out to Boom. We're going to go ahead and drop that first one in the chat right now.
Drop it. And while we're dropping that code in there, everybody go for it. But ladies and gentlemen, attention aboard the Splitters hype train. We have a special announcement, because you know how we do it here. We get started the show rolling along in a Mach 2.0. That's right. That's what we do here. And your goal always is 69 on this show, no matter what month it is, no matter what day it is, no matter how many generous people we've had. It's always 69. And for those of you that don't normally tune in, this is a total riff. We do not e-bag, but we riff on people who do. So attention, ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Bold Alpha Wolfpack. That's right. He added another car to the hype train this morning, because he came overhead and he dropped off some bags of coal. So Steele and I are getting the furnace burning a little bit hotter right now. So all you new splitters, please take your seats, because we are now at Mach 2.5 and we need you to get down, and we need you to get to put those 4-point harnesses on, strap them down tight, pay attention to the attendants as they walk around and show you how to do that. And always keep your eyes on the monitor up above, as we always give updates there. But the Bold Alpha Wolfpack got on the court with an easy 5 layup. That's right, Bold Alpha. Choo choo, motherfuckers. Choo choo. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to pass right now.
We did it. And now, Steel.
Looks like God Emperor Sofa King got the code.
Oh,
hey, that's fire.
Congratulations, God Emperor. Congratulations. Let's go. Thanks to the legendary Yobi yet again as well for dropping these codes in here. So thank you so much, Yobi. Appreciate you, brother.
Yeah, I really appreciate that. Much love to you, Brody. We got one more code that's going to be coming out. So be on the lookout for that, ladies and gentlemen. No, you're going to have to wait, baby girl. All right. Shout out to you, God Emperor Sofa King, for the drop. Glad that you got that, man. Again, we're going to have one more code. Please say your thanks to Yobi for doing that. And thank you again, Yobi, for getting it in. Stephen Avery says, I tried the code, but it said I already own the game. Oh, Steven, you already got the game. That's a good thing to see.
Did he or did he not? I was curious. Anyways, that's fun, man. Awesome. Enjoy God Emperor. Like I said, I'm going to be picking that up shortly too. I want to play that game for sure. Yep.
God Emperor. The Power World update also came out. That's super dope to see. They're bringing dedicated servers to Xbox, which is the main thing that I was waiting for. So me and my daughter can jump in the world and really get our Power World on. So hey, anybody for the future, look out for that. We're going to be starting up a village and getting it popping in Power World at some point. the Sonic Cross Shadow. Big Lou Ravens joined the RTS view. Appreciate you pulling yourself out of the world. Taking it, you got to look at those darker crevices of the map, man. So I appreciate you taking that satellite view, Brent. The Kaido dedicated servers. Hey, man, if you about that, telling you, say on the lookout. I'm gonna probably be posting one up. Power World Arenas is coming too. It's gonna be fire, along with the new raid. That's what I'm super excited. So I'm super excited to see Power World still doing its thing. It's my version of Pokemon right now. So if I want to jump into that, that's gonna be what I'll jump into. Sonic Cross Shadow Generations. This might be the time that I jump into Sonic Generations, man. I didn't play it before. I think I might play it now. They're giving Shadow some new powers as well. This is the year of Shadow. Sonic, he's going to be in the Sonic 3 movie as well. Shadow's one of my favorite characters from Sonic. I felt like he just took Sonic and went to the next level. I love what they've done with the character, especially when you go back to Sonic Adventure 2. The duo between Sonic and Shadow is just super dope. It's kind of tropey as well. If you're, and maybe that's why some people don't like it. It's so stereotypical. It's so typical. It's like the good and bad guy, and they both end up being buddies, and now they're even stronger together, and now they share powers, and one's actually better than the other one, but we don't ever talk about that. He may be better than Sonic. I love Sonic, man. All the fucking characters are super dope. But anyway, so that was dope to see. Unknown 9 game that still looked interesting to be a action strategy type game. I like what they were doing with that. Entoria, I believe, was the name of the game. I believe it's a Souls-esque game. I'm not quite sure. But I saw some stuff about it before. The game looks interesting. I like the design of it. I know some people were like, oh, there's this game and this other game that you could combine together and they look very similar to each other. And I don't know. They were saying Unknown 9 and Entoria looked very similar. Like, I didn't see that.
I didn't think
about that. But again, if that's how you feel, I hear you. Not everybody was interested. And the last one on that list is going to be Cult of the Lamb co-op. That might be one me and the wifey jump into. I'm not going to lie. That sounds like it might be super fun for us to start up a little cult. It has that action combat to it as well. And I heard the Call of the Lamb is really good. So for them to drop co-op was something I just was not expecting. And it seems like you both have control over choice and everything. So start up your own little fucking cult and whatnot. That would be super fucking fun. So yeah, man. Summer Games Fest overall, again, for me, I moved it up from my 6.5 to a 7. Mm-hmm. Again, it's hard for me to be down on something I'm pulling 15 games from. And even if I don't play all 15, there's at least 5 I know are going to be in rotation. And if the only thing, my biggest takeaway is just how the energy was flowing. Yeah, man. I mean, again, one of the weakest shows for Keeley. He definitely needs to work better on that and show us what's good with that. Hey, JB1521, Crimson Desert better be on that Xbox stage. Tell you that. Their partnership they had with Pearl Abyss, I think has done some things. I think that money might have done some things.
I've been on it, Steel. Yes, sir. I agree. Because I thought Black Myth might be there, but obviously that's not happening. So my other one was Crimson Desert. But we're going to talk about that, sir. We are going to talk about that.
Let's go ahead and drop into that as we start winding down the show. We're probably not going to do this day in gaming today, ladies and gentlemen, just because we do want to cut the show short. Things that still need to be done today. Lives still need to be lived, and we got a show that will be on at 1:45. I'll probably be on and giving my thoughts to the world of gaming with Boxenberger and Wandering Dutch. So look out for us there. But yeah, let's get into the Xbox.
Should I open my present now for Yobi?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it now before we get to the.
Let's do it before we get into that. Okay, all right, let's do it. All right, everybody. So again, shout out to Yobi. I've kept this thing sealed, but thank you, brother. Again, I don't do well with this stuff, man, but appreciate you, brother. So we're about to get a surprise because I have no idea the hell he sent me. Again, I did send it through a metal detector to make sure it was clean. I did listen for ticking, right? Stuff like that. I don't know if something's going to jump out at me. I did shake it. There's nothing alive in here, which is also good. He didn't send me something live. So let's see what the crazy legendary Yobi did here. So shout out to you, brother. Let's see what we got.
Wish I could. I should have set something up so I could make it bigger for us.
No, that's all right. That'd
be funny.
That's all right. We don't need to make anything bigger. So, all right. And Yobi, by the way, whoever did this, please send their link or put in their link in the chat if he's got a shop or whatever the case may be. It sounds like from what you told me, he might have a shop that people can go check out. So if somebody sees what I'm about to, I don't know what it is, and wants to go grab it, that'd be cool too, because obviously this dude did good work. So, all right. Looks like we got instructions up here. We got, it is an Etsy shop. So this dude does have a shop. So that's cool. Okay. What the hell is this? So Yobi's got a nice little card in here and everything, man. It says, happy birthday, brother Plong. Has been a pleasure meeting you. Please enjoy this gift on behalf of Etsy.com and #peace, love, life org. Hey. I love you. Legendary Yobi. All right. What is this, man? What is this? Ooh, what the fuck is this? What the fuck?
Lad, welcome to the Splitters, lad.
What the hell is this? Retro S unpacking instructions. Go, I got unpacking instructions, Yobi? Like I can only unpack this in a certain way? Follow the rubber bands to the hooks. Unhook the hooks to separate the controllers. The fuck did you do, Yobi? What is this shit?
Hey, yo,
what is this shit? Okay, man. Okay, we got a bag with something in there. Okay, so I got to be careful here because this stuff is connected together. He's actually got instructions on how to undo this. Okay, so these are actual controllers in here. Yobi, what is this? Okay, got to plug in some batteries. Okay.
Okay.
Right, cool.
Okay.
Cool. What the fuck is this? All right.
He's pausing out slow wrapping paper.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got that right.
We got hooks. What? Okay. Yo, but you didn't tell me I was going to need instructions, bro, on how to undo this thing.
Those are like PlayStation controllers. Hey, yo.
Yeah, they are. They're like PlayStation controllers.
What is this? It's the Soldier Boy game.
He got me the Soldier Boy console?
He got you the Soldier Boy console. Hey.
No. Okay. So I got one of the hooks. All right. Okay, let's see. Okay, because I know these are controllers. I can see that. Like these are like PlayStation controllers. They're like smaller versions of PlayStation controllers by the looks of it. Okay. So let's see. Yobi, what is this?
I want to say it's like a classic, or it's probably like a classic arcade.
So retro S.
Retro S.
Look at this. Look at this. Look at the size of this. Okay.
This shit looks dope.
It is a great. Does he make these himself, Yobi? Because this is like a nice build, man. Yeah, I like the design. I like how small it is. Something this is a screen. All right. So
if
then
you're telling me that that's something that you could just plug and play.
Yeah. That's the impression. That's the impression I'm getting here, Steel. Okay, there goes another clip.
That is super fire.
Let's get rid of one of the. Let's open one of the controllers here. Yo. All right. Yeah, it's great podcasting, everybody. But this is I like doing gifts here, man. Hell yes. Controller.
Okay.
What up?
No PlayStation logo, but it's a PlayStation controller.
No. It's a PlayStation controller. All right. Let's see what else. Okay. So, all right. So we got one of the controllers. So, Yobi, what does this have in it? Like 200. Okay. So there's a 256 gig memory card already inserted into the console.
Pretty solid.
So, man. So I'm assuming this has a ton of retro games on it. Correct, Yobi? Correct me if I'm wrong, sir. I'm assuming I sent the site to your Twitter. You can use your own controller as well. Okay, perfect, Yobi. Lad, welcome to the Splitters. Thank you for joining us, brother. So, Yobi, like, I'm assuming, like, once again, that this has all the games. Okay, your first premium retro controller. Let's see. He sent me a link here as well. Okay. So this is just got to have a bunch of different games from history. Yobi.
That's fire. That's actually really fire.
Yobi, you're doing too much,
10,000 games on there. That's fucking insane.
Bro, you
that's a
are
time
crazy.
machine.
What? Yobi, yeah.
That's a time.
You're melting this old man's heart, man. I don't know what to say, brother, but thank you, man. What an unbelievable. Yeah, let me share. I'm going to share out this link too. Yeah, this thing's got a digital screen and it comes preloaded with a bunch of games, over 8,200 games.
Yo, that's fucking insane.
Over 8,200 games from all different generations. Yeah, I'll put this link in. Thank you, brother. I'm speechless, bro. Thank you so much, Yobi. This is completely unexpected, but what a freaking
that's super dope.
Incredible gift, bro.
There's a Dreamcast emulator on there as well.
Yes. By the looks of it, there's Dreamcast. There's
crazy,
bro. Atari Lynx got arcade games in this thing. Yo, why won't it let me copy in this? Hold on.
You got to probably put it in Notepad. Twitter changed something recently, or maybe it's just me. When I copy and paste links, it just makes text that's not clickable.
Oh, is that what it does? Oh, no, I know why. Because one of the controllers said
hyperlink. Weird.
Let me see. I bet you it will. Hold on. Let me see. Yobi.
Notepad first.
Yobi, this is freaking. Yobi, this is too much, man. This is too fucking much, man. Yeah, there we go. There we go. There's the link. I just dropped
the games that he has to the next level.
Thank you, brother.
And
crazy. Whoever did this, I think the dude's name is Movan. I hope I'm saying that right.
It's an OLED.
Yeah. Yes, it's freaking digital readout screen. Like, everybody go check out the link. It's got mini HDMI. It's got freaking everything you need. It's got a micro SD, which is already inserted. You got 3 ports on the front. Got this kick-ass screen. Love you, Yobi.
I'm about to get this.
I love you, man. Yobi,
actually.
You blew my mind, man. I was not expecting anything like this at all. I didn't want anything from you, but thank you, brother. Thank you so much, and appreciate you, chat, for taking the time to watch me unbox this thing. But yeah, go check out that link, everybody. I'll repost it again. Absolutely incredible. My God, I got a retro console. I got a retro console that I'm going to go back and play Dreamcast games, play arcade games. They got my Atari games on here, Game Boy Advance games,
Genesis.
Atari Lynx, Genesis. Yeah, Def, I pretty much am, man. Like, so I'm
everything
shaking.
before PlayStation 2, essentially. That's going to be fucking fire.
Bro, this is going to be crazy, man.
I might have to get one of those for the house, actually. That's going to be fire. Put that in the living room.
And let me tell you, this build quality on this is incredible, bro. It's solid. You see how small it is, right?
I might have to get one of those for the living room. That'd be fire.
Really well designed, bro. Really well designed. Yobi, unbelievable.
That's super dope.
Yo. Unbelievable, man. 8,200 games. My God, man. I love, man. I love. Shout out to Yobi, man. You didn't need to do that, bro. You did not need to do that. Oh my God, I didn't even notice this. Hold on, Steel. Hold on.
What is that? No, what you got? What you got?
This is the stand, right? This is the stand because it comes with a stand. Hold on, let me get these clips off of there. So it comes with a stand that keeps everything together. Look what it says.
Oh.
Yo,
that is fire. It says living split screen on it. And it's got both S's capitalized and everything. That's a young man who's been paying attention. That's love.
Yes. Yobi.
God damn.
Oh my God.
That's insane,
man. Oh shit. Yeah, everybody go check out that link if you're looking for a retro console. I haven't tried it out yet, but bro, this feels great. And there are tons of directions on how to hook it up. Like Yobi said, I can use other controllers as well with it. Yeah, they've got the instructions. You can use You can use original Dreamcast controllers and stuff. It looks like you
I
can use everything. Yo, this is dope. This is dope. Yobi, beyond, Yobi, beyond, man, beyond. Love you, man. I can't say anything more.
Dope. Again, communities are freaking amazing.
Communities,
you're absolutely fucking outstanding, brother. And I've always appreciated your energy in the community. Hands down. I mean, there is no one better, honestly. Especially in recent times that I've been thinking of. You've been consistent, supporting what we do here, bringing your energy. It's just a beautiful thing to see, man. It's super dope, super fucking fun.
Oh, he said something else too. What else did he send here?
What else he got in there?
He sent this guy, Johnny is his name, but he goes under Movan. He said, "Hi, Steel Rain and Punk. So I hope you like these gifts." Yo, what are you sending along with? Hold on, let me open one of these packages in here. See what this is.
There's another.
Oh, what we got here? What are these?
Gamers Christmas.
They're little turtle wire holders. By the looks of it. What the hell is these things, man? This dude thinks of all of it. He's got his shit stamped everywhere too. Milan, everywhere.
Fire. I like that.
This dude knows what he's doing, man. This guy. And he's got
it with it. He's in action.
Yeah. Everybody go check out his Etsy shop, man. He's got everything. He's got everything here that you need.
It might have Goku's Legacy on it, Bold Alpha, if it's going to Game Boy Advance. That was a good game as well.
This is dope, man. This is dope. Yeah, no, Yobi.
No, that thing is fire. Right. That's something you got to get for the living room. That's super fucking fire. That is, that's something to pop on and just run through and see, what do I have on here?
I'm gonna be sitting here for hours. I'm gonna be sitting here for hours. 8,200 games. Come on, man. Come on, man.
That's a lot. We talk about this day in game. Hey, there's the this day in gaming segment right there.
Yeah, I can go back, man. Oh,
hey, God. Shout out to that, man. Yeah, I'm definitely going to cop a couple of those. I definitely hope he has them available for later on in the year. I definitely want to get my my step pops one. I think that would take him on a fucking journey for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Appreciate you.
You guys should see how the little digital screen shows up too. It's classic, like digital blue.
The games.
Yeah, and it shows whatever you're playing. It shows what system you're on and what game you're on.
That's just creative as hell. I like that. That's just fire.
The gift ever, Yobi. Thank you, sir. Thank you. I can't say anything more. Fuck, man, it's crazy. All right, let's talk some Xbox, man. Let's talk some Xbox. I'm embarrassed.
Ladies and gentlemen, the top of we're already at the climax. Xbox. Yeah. And with that type of gift that just came out, he said Johnny just woke up. He's coming now. Hey, tell him rewind it. I got him on big screen and everything, ladies and gentlemen. So you're gonna be good to go. Hey, that shit was fire. Beautiful. That shit was super dope. Might be a little blurry, but tell him rewind. He'll be able to see the entire thing. It was super beautiful to see. It's super. Yo, he has a super fucking dope product, bro. That's something. That's something that needs to be pushed, and I feel like that takes a lot of work as well. So I wouldn't want to freak around and turn up his whole client base, but that would be really dope to see. Yeah, that's all I was saying, Kumi. Only 4 left in stock. That's what I'm saying. If he does everything himself, and it looks like he does, he got the 3D printer and everything, and it looks like extreme quality, like there's some love that goes into it. Hey, man, y'all put in orders right now. He might have like 50 orders ready to go, ready to rock and roll. You know, put that, man. He's going to start a whole company behind this shit. Watch out now.
Check this shit out, man.
Hey, Yobi said he sent him one too. That's fire.
Yeah, that is dope too, Yobi, that he did send you one out of appreciation.
That's love.
My God, man. That is love,
bro.
Man. That is love. I love people who take the business serious.
Tell him to hit us up, man. I definitely want to get his product out there if he's about it. If he wants to keep it low key, that's fine as well. Just because I know you can start getting to some people that if they want to give you a hard time, they'll try to give you a hard time. So we'll keep it low key if we need to. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're at the climax. We can only go downhill from here.
Gamers Christmas, everybody. Let's go.
Christmas is truly here. Ladies and gentlemen, Polygon coming in with the how to watch the Xbox Showcase at Summer Game Fest 2024. Do I want to use this? Yeah, why not? We'll use what they got here to kind of as a jump off point. Let me get back to our show stuff screen. Swap over from Pong to this. Boom.
These controllers are wireless too. Fucking amazing.
These controllers are fucking dope.
Fucking got a little fucking Bluetooth in them. Let's go.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. They got the little Bluetooth adapter right inside the battery case, so you can plug it in.
That is so dope.
Yeah, bro. Yeah,
bro.
Let
me make this bigger for y'all. 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. This web page is a little strange. All right. How to watch the Xbox showcase at Summer Games Fest 2024. Xbox Game Studios announcements to the Call of Duty Direct. This is done by Maddie Myers. Summer Game Fest 2024 just happened, so we'll skip past that. But what time is the Xbox Showcase? Well, if you didn't know, it's happening at 12 Central tomorrow. I thought it was at 11 Central. No, we're going live.
We're going live at 11.
So 12 Central, 1 p.m. Eastern. So definitely be there for that. It's going to be on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. The Call of Duty Direct is going to be immediately following the Xbox Game Showcase on the same live stream. It will probably last for an hour. Microsoft has not stated the length of the Xbox Game Showcase based on 2023 version of the event. I think that's not accurate. Well, okay, no, that is accurate because the Microsoft themselves have not made an announcement of how long the actual showcase is. I think from people from the know, Jeff Grubb being the main one that I can think of at least, said that it's expected for it to be about 2 hours long. Overall, I don't know if that 2 hours is just the Xbox showcase and then Call of Duty is going to be after that. I know you guys were kind of talking about it's like 90 minutes for the showcase and then 30 minutes for probably Call of Duty. I could see something like that. I could probably see also more so 20 minutes for Call of Duty because they don't need to do. I don't think they need a full 30 for it's Black Ops, bro. Like
they're gonna still have more too. They'll have another regular Call of Duty show, I believe, too. Right. So I think that's why this could be shorter. We could see an hour 40 for the main showcase and then 20 minutes for the Call of Duty. That's right where I was too, Seal. Yep. Agreed.
So, that's kind of what I'm expecting as well. So again, that's an hour and 40 minutes of live direct content that they're going to be coming in with, especially if they're going to continue the path that they've been doing year over year, where each showcase has been at a really good pace. Again, I believe the last few years, honestly, we've put it at about an 8 every time. I think that's been pretty consistent for us, right around that B range. So it can only go up from there. And there's much more to be shown this time around. For example, they get into a little bit of here. What games will Xbox be showing at the showcase? This said, according to Microsoft, we'll see new games from the Xbox Game Studios, updates from previously announced titles, and new games available to play on release day with Game Pass. As for which games might appear, we have a few guesses. We might see more of Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, some DLC for Starfield, details on Diablo 4, Vessel of Hatred expansion, Fable, and Avowed are awaiting in the wings, and there are several games and franchises we haven't seen in a while that conceivably make an appearance. The Perfect Dark reboot and State of Decay. I think State of Decay is going to be more likely than Perfect Dark, personally, but or maybe even a new Gears of War reveal. This is where I'm going to just springboard everything off of, because again, they said Gears of War. Why not stop there? That's all that matters. If they show Gears, I'll turn my computer off. If for whatever reason tomorrow you're watching the show live with us, locked in with the Fun Spec fam, and they show a Gears collection, I'm gonna turn my computer off. I don't know when I'll be back, but just know then I'll be excited, and that's all they would need to show. Again, that would make it a S tier type show. Gears collection coming to PC, Gears 1, 2, and 3, 2 and 3, all remade in UE5. I think that would be super dope. Again, that's a high expectation bar to set as well for all 3 games to be redone in UE5. Supposedly, though, UE5 has made it easier for you to transfer over games in the Unreal Engine, and I do think that this could have been Coalition's first test bed, because again, The Coalition was given Gears off the heels of Epic after Gears 3, Epic and Cliffy B. Gears has typically had a turnover of about every 2 years. There's a new Gears game coming out. And that's been the existence since Gears 1. To its detriment, I think that, it's been a benefit and a detriment in some ways. And some people don't like how things have gone, but I want to stick to more so how the Coalition is coming into this. The Coalition has, as people have seen, done what they have done with 4 and 5. And obviously they found something special when they released Hive Busters. Because everybody who's played that has really enjoyed their time with it. And said it spoke to what people are looking for that dark, gritty Gears again. With that, the Coalition is now going to have 5 years. Let's say they released a Marcus Phoenix collection this year. That's 5 years to be the first ones to probably have access to the Unreal Engine 5. And you need something to be able to play around with. To me, it makes the most sense that you would use your own IP that's already in the Unreal Engine and just use Gears to see what is possible, what can be done, can things be transferred over. Black Tusk, now known as the Coalition, also needed to go and look back into the roots. And there's a reason why I brought Hive Busters up, because that tells me that they already started looking back. I can imagine being somebody, yeah, sure, I may be passionate about the IP, but I can imagine being somebody coming in halfway into an IP's life cycle, 10 years in almost. You come in and now you're the steward of the IP. This isn't a 3-4, this isn't a Bungie 343 kind of scenario. Black Tusk, the Coalition, was a newer founded studio that was working on their own game at the time and loved Gears so much. They said, no, we'll be the stewards of Gears. If Epic is giving it up, hey, Microsoft, boom, we got it. We love Gears. And shout out to Rob Ferguson for really setting that path for them and everything. But with them being given this amount of time, and also what they showed us with that last Unreal Engine little reel that they did that looked like it could have been in a Gears game, honestly. The thing with the ghost and the character, it looked like he could have been somebody's dad or something like that. The Matrix demo as well. They've obviously been hard at work. Again, Gears needs to innovate. Gears is the most exciting thing that's going to happen at the showcase for me. I also think Gears is going to be the standout. If Hellblade 2 wasn't enough of a game for you, I think Gears is going to show you why Unreal Engine 5 is going to be important this generation, what kind of games that you can expect, and again, set the bar for third-person shooters, point blank, period. At the end of the day, Divisions are great, but it's a different game, and it doesn't feel like Gears does in motion, in gameplay, in action. And I would just love to get back to my roots, man. Get back in that Gears 2, 3 action, some wingman gameplay, and catching bodies on guys, man. I mean, again, that's classic. It's going to be classic. So that's my main thing. That's my main standout. I can't speak more than enough to that. Other than that, I also at this showcase expect there to be some Eastern representation. I'll say it here because I said it in other places.
Did you read that tweet, by the way?
Which one?
I wasn't paying attention. The one this morning about Gears. A little bit of extra smoke.
Oh, the one from the DMs.
Yeah.
I believe. Let me see. Do I need to scroll?
Did you mention that?
No, I didn't mention that yet.
Okay.
Okay. Here we go. From Rebs Gaming.
Yep. That one. Yep.
Okay. So Rebs Gaming. And I don't know what connection he has to Gears. Let me extend this back out. Obviously, you can't see it. But shout out to Rebs Gaming at Mr_Rebs_. Let's check out his channel real quick.
He shoots out tons of Halo's information. Like
he's a gaming news reporter and content creator, reporting exclusive and breaking news for Halo. So it's really weird that he has some Gears news here. Maybe he was just paying attention. But he says Steve Jablinski, who composed the soundtracks for Gears of War 2 and 3, just updated the thumbnail images for his Gears 2 and 3 YouTube soundtrack playlist to include the Coalition logo. Xbox Game Showcase is tomorrow. For those who don't know, the Coalition took over Gears of War after Gears of War 3 and created Gears of War 4. So the new cover art with the Coalition logo seems to indicate that they are releasing a Gears of War remastered collection. I want to ask the crowd, because when I saw this and when you showed me this, Krong, I want to ask why, if you weren't doing anything, why waste the time on doing this? And sure, I could be a conspiracy theory, sure, whatever. But why waste the time doing this? Why update the images to put the Coalition on there? Those games came out before the Coalition mattered. You got it hooked up?
I just had to plug it in. I'm sorry. I'm so excited, bro. Bro, it's got Neo Geo.
Yo, that's
crazy.
Got
Neo Geo. Bro, I'm in. Sorry, everybody. I just had to show the screen.
He's got it plugged in and locked on.
Let's go. Sorry, I'm totally rooting our show. We're trying to get out of here early too.
No, you're good.
Crazy, bro. Sorry, but yeah, no. Why would you do that? Why would you update after all this time? Why would you update that?
Unless and it's just music. Yeah, it's just songs. So unless there's something coming that would need to be relicensed, maybe, or whatever the case may be, that would be the only reason why you would do that. Again, now you can say, well, still, maybe they just wanted to have their branding on it and they wanted to take some responsibility for it. They didn't work on those original 3 games, so why would they do that? They might have worked on Ultimate. They did do Ultimate Edition for Gears 1, but this is 2 and 3. Why isn't Gears 1 on here then? Because they did that already. And Ultimate Edition is going to be the easiest one to up-res. Because I think they already moved that forward to Unreal 4 at the time. And that was impressive. That looked like a major upgrade from how 1 originally looked. If you guys go back, and I was in there, I was locked into that for a while until Gears 4 dropped. So why wouldn't they repeat that again? That's the other thing about it that gives me so much credence and credibility, I feel like, at least for the thought process behind it. Gears 6 is coming. You have to make an announcement for it. A teaser or something. It is coming. And I believe it's going to be 2026. If Xbox is going to release their next console, whatever it is, and it's going to be in 2026, give yourself a couple years to rock out with a Gears trilogy, get people really feeling what Marcus Phoenix is like, get people back involved, and competitive gaming is in a different space right now. These are the games to do it. Competitively, 2 and 3 were better games than what 4 and 5 brought to the table, I think. There was no better time to be playing. So, again, that's my highest expectation. Other thing for me, nothing else specific because I'm not the first party dude. I say that, and Halo and Gears are some of my favorite IP. That happens to be a coincidence. But for me, it's about all the other deals that are going to end up coming into Game Pass. Because I keep saying Game Pass has allowed me to play more games than I have ever been able to play before, in more ways than I've been able to have access to before. And I want them to get into that Eastern bag. I'll speak to this game specifically, and I mentioned at the beginning of the show. Wuthering Waves needs to be at this Xbox showcase. I am, just like Sony kind of did this thing with Black Myth Wukong, however it ended up playing out. I need to see Xbox really play in the competition with Hoyoverse and reach into that bag and say, Kuro, we see what you're doing. We see that you're trying to provide some competition to this gacha space. Maybe we don't really like gacha games like that. People gamble, but you got loot boxes in other games, so there's no excuses for it. You got Ultimate Teams and everything else in all these other games, so there's no excuses for it. If you can excuse it in those games, then you can excuse it in this game for those that are interested and say, you know what? Especially with Zenless Zone Zero dropping, that's also going to be on PlayStation on release. I think the reason the PlayStation version of Wuthering Waves, why it was delayed, because it was supposed to release day and date as well. I think the reason why it was delayed is maybe Xbox was able to get in there and cut a deal a little bit higher and was able to say, hey, we like what you're doing competition-wise. We want to bring some competition to the space as well. And boom, you got an Xbox deal. You bring a game like that. Hey, my daughters would love that. So I think that'll be it. I think that would be a major dope step in at least letting people know that you're paying attention to the industry. Honkai Star Rail has became big. You let Genshin get away from you earlier on, and now they're about to drop Zenless Zone Zero. They got a 3-pack of what some people would consider as decent games overall, gotcha or not, and you can at least get one of them. So, and it's just digging deeper into that Eastern bag. If you're not going to get Black Myth, what are you going to get? Crimson Desert? I want to see that. So those are kind of my main takeaways and my main excitement. My hype level for the show is I think Xbox needs to save E3. I've heard some people saying, oh man, we need to bring E3 back. Why? Xbox is going to be the only person there. They're going to be the only company to support it. That's why E3 went away, because Xbox was the only people there. Xbox was like, we don't even need to be here anymore. We're the last Mohican. I mean, why would we continue to do this? Phil was on the board for that. So I think what we're getting right now is unfortunate because it doesn't come across competitive. I also don't know if anybody has anything else to show for the year, which again, in previous years would have been a reason to be down on those other companies. If you didn't hear nothing from Nintendo, nobody's excited for Nintendo then. If didn't hear nothing from PlayStation, people are going to be down on PlayStation. Well, no games. It's not like that this time around, and Xbox is probably about to release an avalanche. But what are your big takeaways, Paul? How are you feeling about the show? And what are you expecting to see, man? Do you agree with me that Gears is probably going to be the main proponent for the hype? Are you going to turn off your computer with me when that pops up?
Hey, Johnny's in the chat, by the way, everybody, the maker of this freaking incredible gift that I can't stop messing around with while we're trying to talk Gamers Christmas. It's Gamers Christmas for me right now. Johnny, appreciate you, man. What a great quality product. Again, this retro, I can't
It's a beautiful
wait
product.
to get started, man. I can't wait. Again, fantastic job. Thank you so much for your hard work to make these things. Obviously, that you'll be gifted me. But packaging, ridiculously cool, how you set it all up, how you have instructions how to take it apart. Again, appreciate the work and effort that goes into being proud of what you do and putting out a product like this, of this type of quality. Thank you. Thank you, brother. Don't know you, but thank you so much, man. And obviously I've been showing it off ever since I opened it up. Like, I can't stop. I want to play. I can't believe how many games are on this and how many systems are included. I just realized that Neo Geo's on here. Oh my God, man. I'm in heaven on top of everything else. But no, thank you, brother, for doing this, man.
Johnny, I definitely tell you, expect for there to be more sales, bro. And if you need somebody to kind of push.
Murder War already ordered one in the chat, by the way. Murder War already.
Murder said he already ordered one.
Yep. So
he says, Johnny says, I'm a gamer myself and love what you guys are doing. Hey, that's love, man. Much love and appreciate it. Again, the chat also love what you got. Again, we're not the world's biggest podcasters, across the globe, but we can definitely get some sales your way, man, and more people to support, because that's such an amazing product, bro. I definitely want to get one myself. So
we posted a link multiple times. Steve wants to get one again. Shout out to you, Johnny. I appreciate that, man. Man,
bookmark,
crazy birthday gift.
Bookmark that link.
Yeah, bookmark that link. Anyways, Xbox Showcase. Yeah, you guys been hearing us talk about it for months now. This is massive for Xbox. This is going to be, I believe, their biggest showcase they've ever put on, right? And I think that because they're moving in a different direction and they're doing their own rules, that the old way of showcases is kind of out the window if they want it to be. They can do whatever they want to here. They can show as much as they want to. I've been on board. Again, this is going to be the biggest one. And when I mean biggest, I think that we have the potential to see the most games ever. I'm on record as saying 40 plus. Now, I know Grubb said it 2 hours and around 30 games. Going through the list of first party now with Xbox Game Studios, with Activision Blizzard King, and of course with ZeniMax Bethesda, they have the potential to show more than that. And again, we had Tom Warren come out and say that he believes at least 15 first party games. I believe it. So I'm going to this showcase as I do every single year with high expectations. That's a me personal thing, and I don't blame Xbox for any of it, right? The only time I've criticized Xbox is when they do something like, oh, we're only going to show you stuff coming out in the next 12 months. Like that got criticism from me. But if my expectations aren't met, it's on me how I handle it. So I take full responsibility. But I am a kid at Christmas right now, and Xbox is coming with a full bag of gifts for us, and there is zero reason that they're going to, yes, they're going to hold some stuff back for some other shows, but there's zero reason why they're going to have a smaller show. It's not going to happen. This is going to be a massive showing. Obviously, the Call of Duty Direct is what it is. It is Call of Duty. They are making this now theirs yet again because it is theirs officially, not just in marketing. They own this IP, so they're going to stamp Xbox all over Call of Duty. So that's why they're having a Direct. And then some of the stuff we're getting out of, rumors about what Treyarch is doing with Black Ops 6 sounds exciting to me. Bringing back the classic Prestige system, I'm in. I love the classic Prestige. It's something that I missed feverishly when I was playing Call of Duty was the old Prestige. It just, again, all it was a dopamine hit, but it was cool as hell. I loved Prestiging. Like, it was just fun. So Call of Duty is going to do its thing. The showcase itself, the meat and bones, right? The games that I want to play later this year are going to be there. Avowed's going to be there. Indiana Jones is going to be there. I can't wait to see. You guys know I am excited for both of those games. Old Indiana Jones fan, can't wait. Avowed, it's Obsidian. I love Obsidian. I said that Obsidian is right up there in a lot of ways with Bethesda when it comes to world building, character development, all that kind of stuff. Again, people can sit here and trash the graphics, do all that I don't give two shits about that. Okay. It's an Obsidian game through and through. It is going to be beautiful. It might not be your cup of tea. I don't care. To me, it is. Its art is subjective. That's when we get into the subjective part of looking at a game and going, I want to play this game. I want to play Avowed. I can't wait to see where the story takes us. Love the Pillars universe that it's set in. I can't wait. So I'm going to get to see what I want to see. Probably going to get another game that, hey, this is me, okay? Right? Age of Mythology Retold is going to be shown here. I believe that. And we're going to get a release date. RTS fan here, Age of Mythology. Again, I rebought it on Steam, the old version, and played some rounds of it already. I can't listen. When World's Edge knows what the hell they're doing. They've proven this through Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition, Age of Empires 4 now. They know what the hell they're doing when it comes to making these games right for console. This is going to be a console PC day and date simultaneous release. Age of Mythology has so much potential to be even something different outside of the Age experience because of how it's set up, because of the characters involved, right? Because of the different units that you can create. I'm looking forward to that as well, Steel. Big time. Expansions, Shattered Space, Vessel of Hatred, Shattered Space.
Shattered Space is the most interesting to me because I want to see how they do that.
Yes, I can't wait to see because we already know they've already updated the game. They've already updated Starfield multiple times. They just had the big drop. They're going to have another big patch coming soon, supposedly right around or along with Shattered Space that might add vehicles and all that kind of stuff they've talked about. They are working on this game continuously. They are improving this game continuously. Again, already my game of the generation. Again, 400 hours in. I love Bethesda. You guys know this. Shattered Space is just going to add to that experience. Mm-hmm. So I can't wait to see that. Vessel of Hatred. Just got done talking about Diablo 4 in the beginning of the show. I'm back in it. 400 hours in Diablo 4 as well. Diablo 4 is incredible. The story itself is the best Diablo story ever created, and it is right up alongside of some of my favorite stories because of the work and effort they put into the CGI. The team over at Blizzard that does their CGI, that does their stories, second to none. Okay, we're talking movie quality stuff here. I want to see where Vessel of Hatred goes. When we got done finishing the campaign, we played it, we co-opted together. Steel, me, Mav, Jasper. We said right at the end, can't wait for the expansion. Can't wait to see where they take the story, right? And it's supposed to be a big expansion. And what they're going to show us is supposed to blow our minds. So I'm looking forward to that as well. Steel, you talked about Gears. Again, I believe the Phoenix Collection smoke is real. I believe that it has been for a long time. I believe they're ready. If it doesn't show up, am I going to be disappointed a little bit? Sure. Am I going to take it out on the showcase? No, I'm not. I really hope it is real. I know there's an outside chance it's not real. But if they do pull it off, it'll be one of the biggest moments of the showcase. It'll be a talker for a long ass time, because us gearheads, from especially the original gearheads, are going to be hyped out of our minds. And then you give us a teaser of Gears 6 on top of it, with what the Coalition can do, with what we've seen Unreal Engine 5's potential now in games like Hellblade 2. Gears 6 could be the next big ass thing, depending on how they take the story. Obviously, for me, I haven't liked the whiny kids. Doesn't mean the game's bad. Games have been good. Open world didn't hit for me like the semi-open world. Hopefully they go back and trim it down again and just get focused again, because like Steele said, Hivebusters showed what they can do, kind of bringing Gears back towards the original trilogy. I hope we get more of that, but whatever it is, I can't wait to see what Coalition is cooking up on Gears, man. And if the Phoenix Collection is real, again, you might see grown man tears. If they hit it out of the park and they do the easy home run with the Mad World trailer, you might see grown man tears, right? Steele said he might have to turn off his PC and walk away. You just might see some gator tears in my eyes, because I get goosebumps, literally goosebumps, from even thinking about that potential moment that Xbox has lined up for them, ready to knock it out of the park. Again, do they always knock it out of the park? Of course not. But Phoenix Collection would be massive. As far as the other stuff goes, I'm expecting to see more Fallout here. Fallout 76 update. They're talking about big expansion. Maybe we get word of a Fallout 3 remake, which has been rumored alongside Oblivion remake. Both of those have been heavily rumored. Obviously, with Fallout hitting an all-time peak high of popularity right now due to the show, would I be surprised that they announced the Fallout 3 remake first here, hold the Oblivion remake until maybe next year? I would not be surprised at all. It would make a lot of sense to me. I hope it's real. I think that could be one of the surprises here. State of Decay 3 is a lock, according to some people, to be here. Jez said 95%. State of Decay 3 is here. I can't wait to see what they're doing. I love State of Decay 2. I love all the updates that Undead Labs have done to that game to build that game out, but they never got too close to their original vision that they had for State of Decay. I believe State of Decay 3 is going to be that vision. I believe that they're going to make this game have a focus on characters, on an actual campaign, along with all the open world co-op stuff that they had originally planned for number 2 that they just never could reach. And with the Coalition supposedly helping them out, I expect this to be a looker. I expect it to be something where we go, oh, didn't know Undead Labs could do this. Yo, what a leap from number 2. They have continuously supported 2. I love devs who support their games. Microsoft has an entire stable of devs who support their games. That's their MO now. Like, we've talked about this, where other companies are trying to figure out how to do this games as a service, how to do these continuous updated games. Yeah. Xbox has a whole stable full of studios who know how to do that and have proven that they can do it. Undead Labs is one of those. Again, from where State of Decay 2 was when it launched to now, night and day. I'm expecting State of Decay 3 to be night and day over 2. So I can't wait to see that as well. If South of Midnight or Clockwork Revolution show up, it's going to be a cherry on top of the showcase for me. I do believe, I'm in the camp that believes Clockwork Revolution is closer with In Exile. You guys know my love for In Exile. They have only been known by a certain group of gamers because their games have been niche in the past. Obviously, with the top-down turn-based strategy type games of Wasteland, that's how they got known. But if you played Wastelands, you understand their character development, their world building, on par with Obsidian, on par with Bethesda. Now you give them a bigger team, a bigger budget. They move to a first-person open world RPG where you can do time travel, and that alters what the game world is. You know I'm all about it. And South of Midnight, creatively speaking, looks fantastic. I can't wait to see more about it. I think that one's further out. I think that they give the devs more time to polish that game because that team is less experienced than In Exile. And I think In Exile just is firing on all cylinders right now. But if either one of them show up, it's a cherry on top for me. Looking forward to seeing Aura, which is going to be a PC only release out the gate. Towerborn, if that's the shadow drop, awesome. I will be jumping into Towerborn. Towerborn has had my interest. It's a smaller game. It's not some big game, but Towerborn is going to be a games as a service that develops over time. I can't wait to jump into that. Heard some really good things from the people who are playing it. Yep. Replaced is going to show up here. Been waiting on Replaced ever since we first saw the trailer. That retro 2D action game that is set in a cyberpunk world. We've been waiting on this. Supposedly it's time. Replaced is going to be big for me, even if it's a smaller game. That and Neon Blood. If you guys are interested in Replaced, Neon Blood isn't going to be here, but Neon Blood was at the Guerrilla Collective. Go check out Neon Blood. Another same style, retro bit game, 2D with RPG mechanics set in a cyberpunk world where you're a detective. Looks dope as hell as well. Go check that out. ZeniMax's online game, Steel. This is a big one for me. ZeniMax Online.
I wonder what they're doing.
I need to know what they're doing. I have pressured 3-bit like you wouldn't believe privately in the DMs, not just in the Fun Spec Fam DMs. I have hit him up multiple times in his DMs personally, going 3-bit. Just tell me, is it Star Wars or not? Like that's the point I've gotten to. Like I tried to get him to tell me exactly what it is because I think he does know. He claims he doesn't know, but he talks to a lot of people in the industry and he knows some people. He won't give up any information. That's a good 3-bit is loyal beyond. He doesn't break NDAs. He doesn't do any of that shit. So he won't give it up. But I need to know what the ZeniMax Online game. Is it potentially a Starfield MMO? Sure. Could they have decided that we were going to start making the game around the same time they started the original Starfield production? Absolutely, they could have decided they were going to do that. It makes sense. They've got an Elder Scrolls Online. They got a Fallout 76 Online to go along with their mainline franchises. Why would Starfield be any different? That certainly could be it. But the smoke we've heard early, years ago, was that it's licensed. And obviously they're working on 2 games. We know they're working on 2 games. So is it Star Wars? Is it Marvel? We know Bethesda was cutting deals with Disney, with Lucas, right? Obviously, Indiana Jones, Blade.
I'm trying to think of what would be happening at the time. What would make the most sense? I would think it would have to be Star Wars because of the type of studio that they are. And if you want to bring something like another thing I think that why that makes sense to me is because I can see Elder Scrolls Online transitioning to a Star Wars theme. I can see that.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? And I can see how it can easily be done because of the the powers, the combat. They already got the lightning. The lightning looks good in Elder Scrolls Online, and they've only made it better. I mean, of course, make the gameplay a little bit smoother, make the characters come across a little bit smoother.
This will be on Creation Engine 2.0. I imagine they moved over at some point.
You know what I'm saying? Yep. Starfield's a good example of that. So it does make the most sense. I mean, if it is Star Wars, then could that be the next new big hit, especially with seeing the kind of support Elder Scrolls Online has gotten?
Yeah. I want to believe, because we haven't had a Star Wars MMO, it would have been around the same time Disney, when they bought Star Wars, they had decided that they needed to expand out the video game section and start licensing again. It would have made sense that it's potentially that, because again, I know the other one still exists, right? Knights of the Old Republic still exists. It's still live and active. People are
getting updates.
But let's be real. It's freaking old as hell. Okay. And there's so much more you can do now with an MMO in the Star Wars universe. And who better than ZeniMax Online that have proven by creating one of the biggest MMO games on console, right? In Elder Scrolls Online. Why not give it to them? And like Steele said, it makes sense, but I just need to know. I just need to know what this game is. It's been in the works for 5 to 6 years at least that we know of. Show me. And they're working on another game too, but they're not going to be ready to show that game or tease it. That'll be down the road. And that could be the Starfield MMO too, that they started after they got closer to wrapping up the main game. But we'll see. I need to know though. Eastern flavored stuff. There's tons here, folks. There's just so much here. Like that's ridiculous. But the Eastern flavored stuff, like to Steele, we always talked about this. And the Eastern side, part of the showcase that Xbox has done each year, especially with Sega fully on board with Atlas opening up the gates. Like their Eastern section has expanded every year. All the work that Sarah Bond, Phil, everybody put into going over to Japan time and time again, and hopefully now Korea and China as well, looking for these dev teams that we've seen come along. The one that I have said outside of Black Myth Wukong, which obviously is not going to be at the showcase, I don't believe at this point. I said I would love to have seen that one on stage. Steel obviously brought up Wuthering Waves, right? But the one that I've been saying, and Steel has also been in agreement on, is Crimson Desert. Crimson Desert would be the perfect game to show up here. They have put out updated footage over the years, but there hasn't been like a big showing of it. It's got to be close to release. I wouldn't even be shocked if it's late this year, early next year when they finally do show something. Could this be the spot? I think it'd be a great deal for them to get that game. That game is looking so cool, and it looks so, it just places well with what Xbox is trying to do. And having a partnership, it just makes too much sense. I want to see Crimson Desert here. I do think Atlas shows up here again. I think potentially we get a Persona 6 tease. It might be a little early, but again, establishing once again that Sega and Xbox are partners now. Like, and Atlas is all in on Xbox. I know they've got, they got ReFantazio, Metaphor ReFantazio coming out this year. That's been the big push. We just got a new trailer yesterday at Summer Games Fest, which that game is going to be another in the stable of Atlas's classics. I think that's going to be a new IP for them. But Persona 6, which still people question whether it's going to show up day and date on Xbox because the other Personas didn't. They just need to settle that. And I think that Persona 6 could tease here. And then I've said all along, too, that I think Square Enix is here. I think Square Enix is for real on the third-party train, multi-plat train. I think Square Enix is completely done with, well, I shouldn't say completely. There could be a deal here and there with Sony or Nintendo or whoever. But I think that Square Enix, for the most part, is going to be bringing new games to everywhere that they possibly can, whether it's Final Fantasy Tactics, whether it's a Final Fantasy 16 Xbox version. We know Visions of Mana, which was announced during the last Direct, is already locked in. I think they're here again to establish that partnership. We got Final Fantasy 14 finally this year. I think Square Enix is here. I think that they want to lock in that, hey, no, Xbox is getting our love. And Phil obviously was on stage shaking hands with the new CEO. This is a big moment. So I think Square shows up here with a big announcement. Whether, again, you might not count Final Fantasy Tactics as a big announcement. Trust me, in the tactics world, it's considered the GOAT by the vast majority of people. Having that come back, a lot of people are waiting on it, would be awesome. Final Fantasy 16 Xbox version, same thing, would just establish the fact that Square Enix is legit going. And they're going to do more deals everywhere. So I think that's a big part of this as well. Third parties, Ubisoft, I think, is here again. I think we get the Splinter Cell tease like we did with the Star Wars Outlaws last year. I think we get the Splinter Cell tease on the Xbox stage. It makes too much sense. Splinter Cell was an Xbox exclusive. You bring it back here, just like Star Wars Outlaws last year. Star Wars Outlaws was a surprise, right, to be on the Xbox stage. And then the Ubisoft Forward the following Monday, which is exactly what's happening this time around as well. That's where they showed a big portion of Star Wars Outlaws. So you tease Splinter Cell here, give us a little glimpse, and then tomorrow at the Ubisoft Forward, you give us a lot more Splinter Cell. I think it's time. I think the team probably has enough put together since it's a reboot that this is going to be here. I have a feeling. We've been saying it every year that Splinter Cell announcement needs to be made. They did a blog post instead. Now you got to give it its light. So I think you come to Xbox, and Phil would be happy to have Splinter Cell on his stage yet again. So I can keep going on and on. There's so much here.
There's a lot.
But obviously, I know we're trying to cut it short. It's 12:35 already. But again, if you guys can't understand, Silk Song, I believe, is going to be here with the release date. I know people are saying no. But there's so much here that I think Grubb saying around 30 games could have been underselling it. I think they could still come close to 40 plus if they really are going to drop the gauntlet here. And there's still more that they could save for later, for TGS, for PAX, for the Keeleys at the end of the year. There's plenty more. Again, when you just run through the list of first party, you're easily at between 15 and 20 games easily that are shown here. And then you throw a third party in there. Okay. Double that, right? That's usually what happens. Sizzle reels count, right? So I say they approach 40 games showing here. So that's where I'm at. We'll see.
Yeah, and I was also thinking when you're talking about the Eastern section, to getting some additional Game Pass deals. I do think because the Armored Core player base kind of dropped off a little bit on console. Because again, you beat the game, and I mean, unless you're going to play PvP, I know PvP has dropped off. I think it will be a prime opportunity to bring that into Xbox Game Pass and get people to try. Maybe you get an Armored Core update. Maybe there's official PvP that From Software gets in there, because there is a mod currently that allows you to do full co-op and everything as well. Maybe that's something else that gets figured out. I don't know. There's a lot of potential that's within that. You think if somebody can mod it in, then maybe FromSoft can figure it out. And even if they don't do that, I think just bringing it over so more people can experience it, because at this point, Armored Core has probably reached its ceiling for potential people that it's going to pull in. And the only way to attract more people or to get that conversation started again is to probably drop it into Game Pass. Especially with Elden Ring coming around the corner. Elden Ring can be what it is, full price game, DLC that's coming, and then Armored Core could be maybe that's the game that people take a break in between to check out, try out, because it's part of the service or whatever in Game Pass. I think that would be really cool to see as well.
Yeah, and we shouldn't leave out Doom. Even if Doom does go platform heavy like it did with Doom Eternal, which turned me off because I just don't do platform. It was way too much platform. I like the classic Dooms, played a lot of classic Doom, but the platforming just turned me off. But there's no doubt about it that with id Tech and whatever updates they've been doing for current gen this entire time, again, we haven't seen anything from id in 4 or 5 years now. Whatever they've been updating on id Tech, it is going to be a showstopper, guaranteed. And again, if it's this medieval Doom that everybody has, kind of leaked out there that they're going to medieval times, you've got my attention. Now, if it's got tons of platforming, I'm probably not going to stick with it, but that doesn't mean a thing. A Doom announcement here on top of everything else, Steel, is going to be gigantic. Again, this is like one big game after another, right? Forza could be here in some capacity. Like, they have the potential to just have one big game after another on this showcase. This really is, and we laughed about it, we joked about it, but it was only a semi-joke, that with the amount of studios that Xbox now has, they literally could hold a 2-day E3 event themselves if they wanted to split it up. And I've said all along they should eventually do that, spend the big bucks and just make it a whole event around LA for 2 to 3 days, get eSports involved. You have so many games that are eSports related now, right? That you could have tournaments going on during the entire showcase. You could fill, right, some of the civic centers down there and that kind of stuff with eSports tournaments during. They could do it, but we laugh, but that is the reality. And again, I didn't even say my hopes and dreams one, which I've mentioned a billion times. StarCraft tease by Blizzard. We know Blizzard's going to be here with WoW, probably World of Warcraft expansions, but they could come in and easily tease StarCraft if they are actually starting development on it to get, hiring going, and just to let the world know that they're bringing back one of the biggest franchises in RTS history in StarCraft, which would ignite the world's internet on fire for all the gamers out there. Because again, it is big in the US. It was big, obviously, in Europe when it was at its peak. But the East, different level StarCraft. Still to this day playing it in Korea with big money tournaments. You announce StarCraft. Man, again, on top of everything else, Steel, it literally could be big game, big game, big game, big game, big game for like majority of the show, with smaller games in between. That's how much they own right now. And then they still have leftover for other shows. They still have leftover for next year. Like, this is how they're lined up now. It's crazy, man. It's gonna be fun. God,
yeah, 1,000%. There's a lot that can be brought to the table this time, especially because you can do a show of dreams as well. You can include that as part of your show to kind of set the expectation, set the timeline. Again, there's just a lot of games for the next 3 years that should be releasing because of the dev time that they spent on them. Again, people wanted the games from 2017 that were being made. guys, you're getting them. It's you're getting to that 6-7 year period to where they have to deliver. These aren't decade-long games that should be in development. This isn't a GTA, as an example. You know what I mean? So it's like, we're going to start seeing these things, and these deals are only going to happen more. They're only going to double down more. There's more that they have to also speak to during this show. And if they end up saving this E3 season, at least for this set of showcases that has been out, I think that is going to be equally impressive, no matter if we find out later that certain games are going to other places. No matter what, I think is going to end up being extremely impressive. So, Nixie says, if I don't get a symphony tomorrow at the showcase, then it's a 1 out of 10. Hey.
Yeah, and Nixie brought up a good point too about Phil's interview afterwards. That's going to be very interesting. Yes. I'm fascinated by what he's coming on to say to IGN.
Like, I don't have faith in Ryan to. I think
I don't.
He's going to ask the PG questions.
Softball questions to Phil from Ryan McCaffrey. But is there a reason why Phil is showing up at IGN, right? Is there a reason why he scheduled this interview so far in advance to show up? Does he have something to say beyond his typical showcase talk?
I think he's going to make
like, is there something more? So yeah, that's going to be fascinating too. But again, overall, my hype is my hype. You want to keep your expectations low, keep your expectations low. I will not keep mine low. I do not get sad or upset because certain things don't show up. I obviously know that Xbox is not going to show everything. I know that. But the fact is that realistically, we can sit here and list off as many games as we can. And there's real possibility, not just hopes and dreams or, oh my God, pie in the sky types talk, that there's this many games and this many titles. This is what we've been talking about for 2 to 3 years now, about the potential. And again, whether or not the cloud that people like to say hanging over, because every game it's going to be asked, is it coming to PlayStation? I don't agree with the strategy, but as a gamer, I don't fucking care. It does not change my hype, my little kid on Christmas Day mentality for this showcase, because day one, I know that those games are going to be in Game Pass and they're going to be available on the 2 platforms that I currently play on. Well, now 3 because I got the Retro S, but it's not going to be there. But the 2 platforms I currently play on, PC and Xbox, those games are going to be there for me. And as a gamer, that's all I care about. And I'm looking at this list of games that are real and that are realistic. And it's blowing my mind. It's all coming from one publisher now in Xbox. Blowing my absolute mind. Because most of this stuff is games that I'm interested in. Right? Most of this stuff is games that I actually would prefer to play over Nintendo, PlayStation type games.
Yeah.
And so for me, again, personally, I'm not going to lower my hype levels. I am freaking pumped. This is going to be amazing. And we still have PAX. We still have TGS down the road, right? We still have Gamescom. We still have the Keeleys at the end of the year, which I know they're going to bring more to as well. And it just rolls into next year. Fuck, man. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's seemingly going to be a wonderful lineup there for sure. I see people in chat saying that Phil's coming to IGN to announce he's retiring.
Yo, that would be a shock. That would be freaking crazy.
I don't think so.
No.
I think,
but that would be crazy.
I think Phil's got at least another decade in him, or at least until up to the point of the next console being released.
Yes,
he would. I think he would see that all the way through to solidify what he's done with the brand, at least from generation to generation. The other thing too is I don't think Phil is so overly worried about what people online are saying. Phil's a gamer who's been keep making himself known that he is a gamer. I'm pretty sure he's aware how people can be. He's been in that industry for quite some time. He understands how Microsoft is, and trying to combine the both. I mean, again, Phil's the biggest reason why Xbox has even been as vocal as they have been over the years. What I do think is going to happen is I think Phil's going to put his foot down, say what he's going to say, and then not going to speak to anything that anybody has to say moving forward. And when we do hear something, it's probably going to be from a Sarah Bond or somebody like that at Wall Street Journal or something like that, or more professional events from moving forward, because it's been proven, at least to me, that it doesn't matter how vocal they are. It doesn't matter what they do. It's not going to be enough. And it's always going to be a skewed perspective for the overall crowd. If the point is, oh, we just need to make good games, I don't need to talk to you to tell you that we're just going to do that. I've said the same thing 3 different times and 3 different occasions. Yes, some things were not able to be held true. You know what I mean? Things have changed in business. There are things that are outside of my scope, but he's had hands in everything. That's the other thing that I have to give Phil credit for. No matter what, he still is the leader. Even if Satya says whatever, if CFO comes in and says whatever they need to say for whatever decisions that they need to make for Xbox, it still has to go through Phil. He still has to okay that these things are going to happen, whether you think that that's best for his job or not. So I think he's going to continue to make the right decisions. He's going to see the vision through, and then kind of go from there, man. So, but that's what I'm expecting. And for him to just to kind of triple down on Xbox's vision, maybe make it a little bit more clear, and then not say, maybe this will be an interview where he says things that can't be contradicted. They just are what they are.
Yeah, and I don't think he would do a retirement right after he just have a big showcase. That would be down.
Yeah, that would be weird. That would be weird.
Kingdom Hearts. I know there's probably a couple Kingdom Hearts fans in here. Maybe not. But Kingdom Hearts is obviously a big deal because Keeley had to say it wasn't going to be there.
Kingdom Hearts 4 showed well.
There's a guy, I don't know who he is. He's on X, but he's got 127,000 followers. And he talks a lot of the Atlas games and Square Enix games. He's obviously got information, but he said that he posted out, and shout out to Haz, of course, Hasdor Gaming. He might be lurking. Haz does that from time to time. Haz, appreciate you, brother. He put it out there so that I saw it, but currently planned release window for Kingdom Hearts 4 is 2026. So
they're spending a lot of time on that.
Yeah, we ain't close. We ain't close, bro.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
They're spending a lot of time on that game. They showed that game off a trailer for it 4 years ago.
Yeah. Yes. 2026, bro.
That's crazy to see. I mean,
another launch game for the new Xbox. Another launch game for the Xbox, bro. Let's go.
Yo, there's so many things that are playing into that year, bro. That just don't make sense.
That year could be freaking insane for a launch window for a new console, Xbox, whatever they're doing, handheld, hybrids, whatever they are doing. The lineup that they could have, including third party, again, could rival what Dreamcast did on its launch, which is by the vast majority of people considered the GOAT of all launch lineups. But they legit could come out and just blow everybody away, bro.
The Final Fantasy 7 remake trilogy coming in as well, maybe around that time.
Just the complete trilogy. Yo.
The third game releases and it's the full trilogy.
Yo, Gear 6 showed off all the power. Oh my god,
that's just gonna be fucking crazy.
It's gonna be crazy. 2026 is gonna be nuts.
The Phil interview is supposed to be right after the the COD show, after the entire show.
Yes, after the direct. Yep.
And we'll be watching that as well. We'll be watching the whole thing. So from the beginning of the show, hour beforehand to after, we'll be chopping it up and talking about it, ladies and gentlemen. So definitely check us out. But this is where we are going to wind it down, ladies and gentlemen. Again, I'm not going to be doing this day in gaming to get us up out of here, but I do want to say what a freaking fantastic way to end season 3. Next week starts a new episode for season 4.
I can't believe we're saying 153.
That, bro. I can't believe it either. It's such a beautiful thing to see.
Season 4.
God. Season 4,
and you guys.
Baby.
Oh my God. And the vast majority of people, we almost got 100 people in here, but there is, we love you all. And I know many of you who are live today catch us afterwards too, because we have been consistent with who is in the chat live and then who catches us afterward has been consistent all right, for the past 2 years at least. It's been very consistent. Love you all. Thank you all for being a part of these 3 seasons, man. Can't tell you how much Steele and I appreciate it. We've said from the get-go, whether how small, how big, it don't matter to us. This is him and I. We love our Saturday mornings, and you guys who have just been here nonstop, whether you join in, whether you lurk, whether you stay for 5 to check out one topic, or whether you stay for the entire show, which is normally 4+ hours at this point now. That's what it's turned into at this point. Yes, today's a little bit shorter, but we just nothing but love and respect for being here with me and Steele this entire time. Again, Steele and I would be doing this in a party chat most likely if we weren't on the show together, but have people who love this conversation, who join in or who just listen, again, giving us your time, which is beyond valuable. Our time is limited in this life. And the fact that so many of you want to come out here and listen to us do this for a block that's longer than most people would ever say you should do for a podcast means the absolute world to us. And I can't thank you enough. And again, extra special shout out today for the legendary Yobi. Did you drop that other code, by the way, Steele?
No, I'm going to drop the other code right now.
Other code. Yeah. Thanks to the legendary Yobi for the codes. Again, today, and then along with my ridiculously special birthday gift that he sent me. Can't say enough. And shout out to Johnny, who joined us, who makes the Retro S console. Please go check out his work if you guys are interested in a retro console with 8,200 plus games on it, from Neo Geo to Sega Genesis to 3DS, or to I should say to the DS, like whatever you're looking for. Like, I mean, again, and the quality of this build is absolutely incredible. Really, this thing, it's got foot pads and just awesome. But thank you, extra special thank you to everybody as we end season 3 on Gamers Christmas. It couldn't get much better, man. Gamers Christmas weekend is here. We are on Xbox Showcase Eve, the biggest show in town at this point during this time of the year. We still got the Ubisoft Forward on Monday, right? Like, welcome everybody. Golden Age of Gaming is here. It's a freaking fantastic time to be a gamer, and I love you all. Sorry, Steele. I know we're trying to get out.
No, that's it. No, that's
perfect.
I'm
being sappy old man. I'm being sappy old man. I just
that's
love
perfect.
This community, man, and I love what we got going on here, man.
If you want to roll into the outro, so this is perfect, man. Nam Omar says, "I got the game. Appreciate you, Yobi. Second code.
Hypercharged. Let's go.
Hypercharged, unboxed. Nam Omar.
Shout out to that.
Enjoy it.
Shout out to what's his? I always forget his name, but shout out to the Hypercharged main developer too, man, for being like not caring what people think about him and showing his emotions, and that's real, dude. Like people want to try to downplay it as fake, or that he's just coming out here. And people try to downplay, 65,000 copies isn't a big deal. You got an L and fake. For that dude,
6 people
and his team, it's life-changing. It's life-changing. Life-changing. Yeah. People don't get that. And for him to come out and be real with his emotions and not care what people are going to say and post it publicly, that's huge, man. That takes guts. It takes guts to go develop a game and put your work out there. Yeah, man. Shout out to him and shout out to Hypercharge. Again, I am picking that game up for sure, 1,000%. So, anyways.
Yeah, I definitely want to at least get some runs in and maybe do some some community nights or something with it. I think that'll be dope as well. Again, it's a game that we need to keep in rotation for everything that they've done, for all the good things that I'm hearing about it. That's the biggest thing. And again, for a team that published the game themselves, this isn't under nobody else. They are reaping the benefits, man. So that's dope, super dope to see. Super, super dope to see. Well, Ghostwolf says, don't understand how fast y'all can put those codes in.
Copy and paste,
baby. Copy and paste.
Gotta be ready, bro.
Unfortunately, that's how I be feeling when people do it on their channels. I'm like, oh, but it's all good.
You gotta be ready.
That's why we do it for us. And again, greatly appreciate you, Yobi. Johnny, again, appreciate you, man. Hopefully we send tons of sales your way. I don't know if you were trying to make that a main factor of your business, but it may end up being one. And wish you much success for the future. You look like you've created just a magnificent product, and I definitely want to try to get one for the for the living room for sure. I want to see if they can end up getting one if they can get another one that does like PlayStation 3 back. That would be super fire as
That's
well.
so hard, but the cell processor. That's why PlayStation 2 can't even do it.
PlayStation 2 at least back.
But PlayStation 3 can't. I mean, PlayStation themselves can't even do backwards compatibility in PlayStation 3 because that cell processor.
Well, then do Xbox 360 because they could do that. Skip PlayStation 3 and then do PlayStation 2 back. I think that would be fire.
Bro, this thing's got Sega 32X on it. It's got Virtual Boy games on it, for God's sakes. I won't get a headache because I'm not playing in 3D anymore. It's got Sega CD on here. Again, Neo Geo, freaking Link's Game Watch games are on here, bro. Yo, I'm in. PC
Yobi says he has about 3 left, so you have to crave more. Hey, man, maybe he just put that many up. Maybe he got some more in stock somewhere. We'll see. But, I mean, either or, again, if that's his business, maybe he got a lot more traction than recently seen. And make sure to leave him a review as well, guys, if you end up getting it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and close this out. Thank you for joining us on this journey thus far. Living Split Screen is a love child of mine for sure. Definitely appreciate all the time that I get to spend with my brother from another, chopping it up about a industry that I'm extremely passionate about, talking about it in the exact way that I would have loved to be able to talk about it for many, many years, and also allowing me to have somewhere where I can at least demonstrate some representation for what I even wanted growing up, because I just didn't see that in this space. And I just didn't think it was possible that anybody would want to chop it up with me or see me talking about games or streaming or doing any of that crazy shit. So appreciate y'all being here, man. It's a lovely thing to see. We're going to continue to build it up. We're going to be on that road to 3K, baby. And again, if we get to 2K, I'll play Alien Isolation. Not the VR one. Because then we gotta get a whole
say,
VR.
you go, 10,000
Not the VR,
right?
10K is the VR one. 10K is the VR. I'm gonna need some support for that. I need people to pitch in for that one. I'm not buying that myself. I'm good. That's gonna be completely community driven. I'm just gonna be honest with y'all. Because y'all are trying to force me to do something I am not going to like. I'm telling you, it might be a short stream. I'll play it. I'm gonna play it. But I would do it. If we got to 10K, I would definitely do it. We get to 2K, I'll do Alien Isolation live on stream. And that's already going to fucking freak me out. And if we get to 5K, I'll do Outlast. I'll do 5K is Outlast.
No.
There'll probably be a new version of it out and I'd be dead. I'd probably die. So it's all good. Ghost Wolf says, let's get to 10K.
Oh my God.
Y'all stupid.
You might see a dead body live on air.
You might. It'll be live on camera. So if you just see me not in this chair anymore, it wasn't because I went to the bathroom. It's because I'm laid out on the floor. Just heart attack completely.
Yeah.
I can't handle it. I'm telling you guys, it'll be fucking hilarious. But boy, it's not going to be fun. Alien Isolation stream with a Depend sponsorship. It's not that bad. I won't do all that. I'll throw the controller before that. That's what I'm talking about. I'll fuck around.
That's the funny part. I've never had that feeling. Like I've been scared shitless, as they say.
Yeah.
That's more appropriate because I've never felt the need to poop my pants being scared.
Nah.
Everything tightens up for me.
Like
everything is I ain't doing nothing when I'm that scared. And I've been that scared in different situations before. I've never felt like pooping my pants, man. Never.
No, I've never felt that way.
I'm reversed.
I've been at gunpoint and I didn't feel that. So I get what people say, but I don't see how
it's
that's
the opposite.
possible. But
like I said, it's scared shitless means you have nothing to give, right? You there's not you're so scared that there's nothing that's not happening. I
get more
that's
adrenaline pumping. I feel like I'm fucking Jason Statham in that Crank movie.
Yeah,
that's how I feel. I feel like I've been cranked all of a sudden. Not I'm gonna fucking turn around, slap, and do all kind of crazy shit. But that's the kind of way that it puts me into. It's just weird. I don't know. Strange. Anyway, well, ladies and gentlemen,
everybody and some girl in the middle of the street. like he did in Crank?
Yeah, that's true. He was having a good time. He was having a good time. Crank was a good fucking movie.
That was the most ridiculous fucking thing ever. Yes,
it was over the top.
Most of Jason Statham's movies are pretty ridiculous, but they're fun.
But they're good. They're fucking good.
Yeah,
I don't know what it is about it. So shout out to that. Transporter is always gonna be my favorite though. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us for Living Split Screen, your non-console centric platform, talking about everything happening within the gaming industry. Where we take that RTS view, pulling ourselves out of the world, looking at the darker crevices of that map, putting our resources together so we can not only build up the foundation for us here at Living Split Screen, but also a foundation for those 2 to 3 billion gamers that are out there enjoying the passion and hobby just like we are. With that also said, you can find me, Steel Rain. That's Steel Rain the T is a 7 everywhere. Google's probably the easiest place to get that information. And if you want to reach out, hit me up in a message, DMs, whatever the case may be. Again, I frequent the streets of X, otherwise known as Twitter, and the Xbox ecosystem just because of how well it works between PC and the console itself. Much love, ladies and gentlemen. Again, thank you, Johnny. Thank you, Yobi. Thank you, everybody who continues to support what we do here and the content that is dropping. Y'all have been showing some love to the content that I've been putting on here, random Wuthering Waves content and whatnot. The Kyle dropping comments and stuff. That stuff's been really dope. So again, man, it's been a journey. Really enjoying every piece of it. But Pong, let these beautiful people know where they can find you. And it's a pleasure continuing to do this with you, man.
Merry Christmas, brother. Merry Christmas. Gamers Christmas is here. Thank you all for joining us today. Another freaking fantastic episode for so many different reasons, but again, special today. Thanks to Yobi and thanks to Johnny, but man, all of you, again, thank you all for being here. Listen, y'all, I'm going to throw the link in the chat. Both Boxenberger and Wandering Dutch on their channels are running their show. After we're done here, go check it out. Again, members of the community rolling on through, giving predictions. A lot of people in LA, shout out to the community in LA, showing up, showing out. Boom, Ains, Cog, King, everybody out there right now. Have a great time. Some of the people are going to be able to roll through. Some of them are not going to be able to roll through on Boxenberger's show, but go check out the prediction show if you want to hear some more hype for the Xbox showcase tomorrow. And then Steel and I will be rolling through there in probably about 45 minutes or so, maybe a little bit later, depending on what we got going on. But join over there. Otherwise, enjoy this time. Again, if you guys are here, it's because you are passionate about this game industry. You love seeing new games coming out. Not everything is going to be for you. Not everything we on our wish list are going to come true. But my God, we are already getting a ton of good looking stuff, games that we're going to be playing this year, next year, and beyond. So enjoy it, everybody. This is what it's all about outside of just gaming, is coming together and just watching all these shows and talking about how excited we are, whether it's on X or Facebook or wherever you are, or on a podcast. Just that's what it's about in chat. Love you all. You know how to find me. Pongsoul on X, formerly known as Twitter, Pongsoul on the Xbox, Pongsoul on Steam, Pongsoul on GOG, Pongsoul on Epic. You can find me, and I'll follow you back. Otherwise, like I said, Boxenbergers, I'll be over there sometime probably in the next 45 minutes or an hour or so, depending on what I got going on. So join us there. And then tonight, it is going to be the Shop Podcast. PTK Blam is taking some time off. However, he could not avoid Gamers Christmas. He had to say, this week I'm coming back for one show. So PTK Blam, Fuzzy Belvedere, myself, and I believe Steel and Matt brothers are going to be there tonight. So come get your good talk tonight, because we're going to have a fun time. And then PTK is what it looks like he's going to take some more time off. Again, he's got a lot of changes going on over on his side of things in real life. So he's just taking some time off, but join us tonight on the Shop Podcast, PTK Blam's channel, 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central Time now. Be there for that. And then tomorrow, Fun Speculation Fam, getting together starting at 11 o'clock Central Time, noon Eastern Time. That'll be 9 o'clock in the morning Pacific Time for all you West Coasters out there. We start our coverage. We're going to go live about an hour before the Xbox Showcase. Obviously, we'll see how many people are going to be there. Blam might actually even join us tomorrow. We'll see where he's at. Who knows who else is going to roll through. Steele's going to be there. It's going to be a party time over on the Fun Speculation Network, because you know how excited all of us on that channel get for these showcases. We are all hype masters when it comes to this. So join us there tomorrow. We'll be there. Steele and I are going to give our final thoughts after the show with the Fun Speculation family. And then we're going to do what has been a tradition for the past 2 years. This will be the third year in a row. Steele and I will be joining Boxenberger and Wandering Dutch on the World of Gaming to go over the showcase with those two amazing gentlemen, those two brothers from another over there. So we will be over there doing that. And then who knows what else is going to pop up.
It's going to be a lot, man.
We got a lot. Next week it'll be hype week again, because we're going to be talking about all these games, and we're going to have more games with the Ubisoft Forward, and the Xbox is going to have stuff throughout the week, they said, with behind the scenes stuff with devs and more game footage. So next week it's going to be crazy too. Mav's trying to do everything, so he's going to be there Monday and Tuesday. But I will be obviously Thursday, PM in the PM. I'm imagine we will have a regular PM in the PM, 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 o'clock Central Time, and then Xbox Ultimate next Friday, 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central Time. Ho, 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 everybody. Santa Claus is here. Let's get out of here. Love you all. Please, it's the golden age of gaming. Get out there, enjoy some games while you're watching all this coverage as well. Play what you love what you play, and I'm going to talk to you real soon. Steele, get us out of here, brother.
Much love, beautiful people. Y'all stay safe, and appreciate you for rocking us up for this beautiful season 3. Season 4 next week. Much love. Peace.
Just one question. What if you miss?